Some may find the following disturbing. Discretion is advised.
He among you who is without sin, let him cast the first stone.
We're putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way. We're on a mission from God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, nah, nah. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Every week on 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Every week on 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose. Yo, first, the smartest man, no tweets he's ever missing. Impossible, the mission, call out frauds with precision. A Bears 100 proof, these pages #1 Adora. Slaying dumb tweets, cross-eyed like Confora.
Never one to back down, Shayne be calling a fraud. Our dumbest tweets of the week, the mailman goes all out.
Cheers, Bears fans. The fire Puerto Rican barkeeping for Chicagoland. He's the godfather, the one, the real producer. Always keeping the show together with the voice that will seduce us. Biscuit now the Firefox, the old timer never stops. IPAs, drafts, malts, craft spark, keep takes the shots. Ball flies appreciated worldwide. Canada, Scotland, England, Brazil, Mexico, and Dubai. Dr. Phil is the guy, the one to realize that the barroom needed a show with an endless shoot supply. Go big coat for the narrative on color. Brought the Jasons of get paid for Mitchell. Now I'm the usher.
Standing up for the truth, 100 proof with the guys. Almost burned off the show, but I came back for the ball flies. Flies, flies, flies.
Fuck a fraud in his keyboard, Twitter tough guys surround us. Raining truth on the Bears worldwide, barflies astound us. This is the #1 pod, that's the reality of the truth. And if you don't know us by now, Bears 100 proof. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Every week on 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Every week on 100 proof, 100 no matter if the Bears win or lose.
The NFC North 2018 Division Champions.
They're the ones that fight for truth. Yo. Every week on 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. You know MC for a Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Every week on 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose.
And they win the NFC North.
Yeah. You know you got to feel it. You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Bears ballroom. You know you gotta feel it. Yeah, yeah, you gotta feel it. How you feeling?
Putting the band back together.
Get it. No way.
Keeping it
We're on a mission from God.
Fulfilling. Another fulfilling fortified track.
Let him cast the first stone.
Bears
#1 rated 100 for the Bears ball flies.
100 proof.
Shout out to John Farr, the super producer. Bar guys, stand up, unite. Aldo Gandia.
100 proof.
It's the Bears ballroom, and of course, it's only one. The smartest man in the barroom. Come on now, the mailman, your Shayne Moneyman Marsaw. Deliver the mail and see fulfilled for the Bears ballroom. Your boy, Giraffe Dr. Bears 100 proof.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Bears 100 proof.
With a good, clean practice. I thought that overall our guys were really locked in. There's a good vibe right now within the practice facility and where the guys are at. And then on top of that, with the fans, for our fans being at home, we're looking forward to seeing them come out and get there early and help us out. It's just I go back to last year and how much they helped us last year. It was amazing. So we get a great opportunity here. And like I said, before you know it, it's going to be Thursday night.
This is Bears 100 Proof, and you just heard Matt Nagy a day ago talking about the vibe at practice, talking about the vibe at Hallis Hall, talking about the anticipated vibe at Soldier Field. Yes, indeed. It is going to be raucous. It is going to be rowdy. It is going to be just like this show, Bears 100 Proof. Yeah, baby. My name is Aldo Gandia. I serve the drinks here, but don't you worry, the stars of our show are here. They are, of course, Shayne, the smartest man in the barroom, Marsaw, and in my studio basement, I guess I call it a studio basement, is Draft Dr. Phil. I'm looking at that handsome man right now. Holy cow! We've got quite the show for you tonight. We're going to talk all things Bears, and later in the show, we've got Brett Meili from Pawn Stars. He lives out in Vegas, so he knows a few things about gambling, and he's going to present some prop bets for us, and we're going to track them throughout the season and see which one of the guys does best. It will be fun. But first of all, I got to find out how my man, Draft Dr. Phil, is enjoying the city of Chicago. Brother, talk to me into that very microphone.
Oh, my God.
2 weeks in a row, Aldo.
Wow. This is like, I'm rolling fucking weighted dice here with the Gandia. I got my new Bears Barroom 100 Proof t-shirt on.
Those are nice.
Not me.
It's in the mail. The city is fucking electric.
Yeah,
and I am not hyping it up. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I brought my little brother from Connecticut with me. I fucking, what would we call him? I was like a communist dictator. Made him. Yeah, he's bigger than me.
Guy's 350 pounds.
AKA the heavy barber. He's in the house. So we have been walking around the city. For a big guy, he walked with me. If I had one of those fucking step counters.
I didn't climb on the Millennium
I went onto the Millennium Wall to take a pic. I'm like, I'm going to go up there, take one too. He's like, he tries to get up. He's like, fuck this. I ain't fucking getting up there.
Let's go eat.
So, but seriously, the fucking city is on fire with Bears vibes, and every fucking person, anybody that's a barfly that has spent time with me, and Claudio's like, I raised the kid to be a Bears fan, knows that when I walk anywhere, in Chicago and fucking Shelton, Connecticut, New Haven, New York City, I'm yelling, any Bears person with anything on, let's go Bears, or bear down. Get something on them. I don't say, duh, Bears. I'll tell you that. I don't do that shit. But I do get people amped up, and the city was responding. At first, there was fucking worry in my heart. I'm like, these fucking people aren't ready. How big is this game? And then as the day went on, and it's been an epic day. So
it was very nice.
Absolutely, Greg. The whole city is. And it's just a great vibe. And then to go down to Soldier Field, and I really set my course to that, to see it. How lucky am I to see the statues? That's something we've talked about on this show since its inception. Like, when the fuck are you going to celebrate Peyton and Hallis? Those are the two statues.
I know.
We talked about it on this show. It's almost like they listened to us.
You wonder, huh?
And they did. And to be there, and I know we're going to get into it, but I just want the fans that are worldwide Bears fans and bar flies to know this city. I've been here. This is my 8th time now in this city for a game. This is the most electric all over the place. I'm talking CVS, getting a pack of Pink Trident, to the barbershop, down to everywhere we went. Everyone's fired up for the Bears to beat the Packers.
Man, I got to tell you one thing. You say that you trained Claudio here to be a Bears fan, but he was going off on how great of a quarterback Rex Grossman was. So
You're not waiting to
He
get
went right into that.
I'm ready because listen,
Bring in Claudio
as a barber, all I do is talk sports, talk politics, and I had to defend Rex Grossman for every game he had, pretty much.
damn, you must have cut off a lot of ears.
No,
huh?
well,
All four of them, huh?
I'll get into it because my thing with him, and like I told you guys here, is I don't think he was the greatest quarterback, but I just think he didn't get a fair chance after going to the Super Bowl in his first season. That was my main thing. So because the other season before he got hurt, he only played 3 games each time. So
That was part of his problem. He was never really healthy. I mean, first 2 seasons it was pretty fucking bad.
Well, but the first season he was.
Yeah.
They go to the Super Bowl. So, that's...
Yeah, and he had a lot to do with it. Okay, next question.
All right, go ahead. We'll come back to that. Let me look up some of his stats.
Gotta be prepared.
Shayne, how are you, brother?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
You look psyched up, man. You look like you've got a lot of pent up anger, and want to fucking pound some Packer fan in the face.
If you only fucking knew. It's football season. I got a kid that I adore, and that's all I fucking need.
There you go. There you go. and you've trained him well too.
Oh, you're goddamn right. It's the only way to be.
Damn right.
I just got to go over there and whoop Claudio's ass by the sound of it now.
No, dude.
Grossman,
please, I will have this conversation. Like I said, I will. So wait. Oh, I don't know you yet. I don't know. Are you a Cutler guy? Did you like Cutler?
I was very excited when we got him, but I was more than ready for him to go. I wanted, when Pace got here, I wanted Jay gone.
Okay.
I wanted to, I think Aldo was with me on that. I wanted the clean cut with the new regime. Yeah. Right then. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't. I mean, I liked Rex. I defended it. My quarterback, I'm going to defend. I'm surrounded by Philadelphia Eagles fans.
I had to argue with Phil here, because he didn't like Grossman from the get-go. So, a lot of Bear fans didn't like him, as you know. But, my thing is like Cutler's offense, the weapons he had are not even close. Rex Grossman had nothing like Cutler had. And so my main thing was, you go to the Super Bowl, you lose, he didn't play great, but the next season, why don't you help him out? Why don't you bring in a number 1 wide receiver and do something? No, what do? Oh, they let Thomas Jones go to the Jets. Yeah. That was, you know what I mean? So that was where I was like, you know what? You're not even giving the guy a chance. So.
I'm just trying to throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
It's not working. Isaiah Robles in the chat room says, "Can we please stop talking about fucking Rex Grossman?"
Yes.
Hey. Sorry, Zeke.
You're losing listeners.
We're losing listeners. The lead story is the fact that the Chicago Bears are about to embark on a championship season tomorrow. Thursday, September 5th, on prime time, to open up the 100th season of the NFL. And Draft Dr. Phil is in town to enjoy it. And fans all over the world are going to enjoy it. And we're going to talk about it right now. And I got to tell you this, guys. There's the only way this game gets away from the Chicago Bears is if this team is not conditioned to go 4 quarters. I said it on our new Instagram account, and that's the only thing I'm worried about because I haven't seen any of the guys play 4 quarters. I imagine that they've been doing it in practice and so forth. Shayne, what do you think? Do I have a legit concern?
Oh, you absolutely do. I mean, we saw it play out in front of our eyes last year. I think that we couldn't have asked for a better half the way that it started, and then I think it was a culmination of jitters and conditioning and first time head coach and Vic being fucking stubborn, and you hope you're past that point. I mean, I understand completely. You want to get there, you want to be healthy, you want to be ready to go. But if your guys are sucking air on the sidelines because they didn't play at all, then what does it really get you? I'm not sure if fans realize how big of a tone setter that this game is, because I believe if you go out there and kick the shit out of the Green Bay Packers in Game 1 of 2019 and make a fucking statement nationally, like I said last week, I think you cut the head off the fucking snake. Then you're into their head. You know, Aaron Rodgers it's still a fantastic quarterback in the twilight of his career. You set the fucking tone with this young team, with Khalil Mack, with Mitch Trubisky, David Montgomery, Akeem Hicks, Leonard Floyd, with all these fucking guys. Green Bay knows the Chicago's got the talent. They're where we were last year. Nobody knows what LaFleur's going to be. Everything could blow up. You go out there and you kick the shit out of these guys tomorrow night. That implosion, I really honestly believe, begins in Green Bay.
It's the smartest man, motherfucker.
God damn right.
Damn right.
I just want to say the big mystery as to what Aldo is saying. On tape, on paper, in the draft, and looking at this team for where you would think it would ascend to season 2 under Matt Nagy, you're excited. Everything looks tremendous. But the fear that we have is what Aldo's saying, and it's not the hockey band playing in the back.
I was like, what kind of fucking drop is that?
It's the Jim Corneliuson in the building. No, it's the what are we getting from this team in regards to their preparedness to play a football game? And I think we said it last week. Aldo eloquently said it. He took everything I was thinking in my head. I was talking to the Uber driver, saying the same thing to him. It's the unknown that isn't known that creates fear, especially in football, whether you're coaching high school, college, whatever. And in this case, the known is the talent. The known is the coach and what he did last year. And football is a strange game with an oblong ball. And that ball bounces. So how it's going to bounce, you want to control that. And how do you do that? By being prepared. So are they going to be gassed? Are they going to go out and punch someone in the fucking face? That's all going to get... That's the greatest thing about this ultimate team sport. It's all going to be answered tomorrow night. I'm going to be sitting there in the 100th year, the oldest rivalry, the guy that got it.
Did you guys hear the quote from Moon Mullen about the Bears locker room?
I was going to bring it up.
No, I didn't hear it. What was it?
Well, I texted, I did text Phil. Moon Mullen said that there is a very distinct feeling in the Chicago Bears locker room. As soon as you walk into it, you feel it.
Energy.
There's blood in the water, and the players all know it. It's instilled in every one of them, and they're ready to go. The first Packers game last year still fuels them, and they're circling right now, and they're getting ready to attack. They've taken it personal that they didn't finish. It's not just the playoffs. It started in game 1 last year, and Nagy has them all realizing it.
And come meet me at Portillo's, and let's get it on.
Goddamn right. That even got a little bit of a sweat beat on Claudio back there.
And that's why you kick off to start the game and get your defense on the field, Aldo. The fucking shark in the water waiting for that weird porn 70s mustache quarterback and fucking...
I'm just happy his commercials aren't on air anymore. That's all I'm saying. I couldn't take that. Him and Clay Matthews, every commercial.
Oh my gosh.
If you go out there and then, well, I don't really care who it is, but especially if it's 52 and it's third down and you go out there and you get off the field on a Khalil Mack sack and a 3 and out, that place is going to be euphoric.
It's going to be like this. Those bears.
Yeah.
How true is that? Claudio, you look psyched up. You're like you're ready to go out there and play some football yourself.
I am. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
You're feeling the vibes and energy. You felt the vibe in the city.
Oh, I did. I love this city. I must have said that like 20 times. And it's even better when it's, big game about to happen, and tons of people wearing Bears stuff, and everybody we talked to, except for Packer fans, were all about the Bears.
Yeah, we kicked Packer fans into shitty areas of the city.
Somebody asked for directions, you sent it to the south side.
Fucking Phil. Last year he's in town and he's fucking telling people wearing Green Bay shirts to get the fuck out of town.
Oh, it was happening again. They're over by the fucking where they're setting up the fucking big concert down there. There's this fucking field, and me and Claudio are gonna cut through it because we want to get a shortcut to Soldier. And Claudio's like, "Whoa, hold up, Phil! I got new sneaks." I look down, it's like fucking goose shit everywhere, right?
Oh.
Just mud and goose shit. So he's like, "Oh, we stay on the path." So then we see this fucking Packer fan coming on the walkway. And he's coming at us like, look at who the fuck? And he's got
he was
people.
a tour guy because he was like a small white dude, and there was like 4 black guys behind him.
He's like, I'm like, who the fuck brought this Packer? They're all cracking up. So he like sees me come, he cuts through the goose shit, and I'm just like, and that is another win for the barber.
Little porn music here for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Oh man! All right, I got to bring up another topic here and let's just talk about different aspects of the game. One of the things I talked about on the Instagram account was James Daniels starting his first pro game at center. Phil, what do you anticipate? Is there going to be you were huge on Cody Whitehair as the center of the Chicago Bears. Do you have any concern that James Daniels is going to go in there and not perform at the same high level as Whitehair?
Anybody that knows, love James Daniels. Love him. I was on the Score talking about him on draft before we drafted him, right, Shane?
Can't take him, Phil. He's red flag.
Greg Gabriel was pissed at me for that. But anyway, but Aldo, yeah, because there's a friendship, a camaraderie with Whitehair and Trubisky. I saw this, I don't know if it was a video, commercial, something about the two of them together and how much he's going to be the godfather to Whitehair's son coming. There's some connection there. Daniels, just like the rest of the story, anybody that says the Bears are this or that, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about because we don't know. I don't know what James Daniels is as the Bears center. I know what he is as a center, and he's fucking athletic beyond your years at that position and what he could do.
Right.
You just have to put your faith in Harry Heastand and what they're going to get done with him. But he's going to be somebody, especially that I take a look at on The Tape Never Lies, because it's great that you brought him up because he's a position switch from a rookie year. He never could have played center last year. They went over it. Thayer hit some great points as well as Harry Heastand. Now he's in his second year. Kid's very intelligent. His college coach spoke highly of him. So you just have to have faith, blind faith, in seeing how this offensive line performs. The talent is there. In-game situational management. Is he going to rely on Whitehair? I hope he fucking does. Because I'll tell you right now, you need to rely on everything, never taking on water. Your plan as a coach should be, you need to know it, and if you don't know it, ask Cody. That's exactly what, and that's how great teams are built on the offensive line, because it all starts up there. It's like, if you don't know, you better know. It's because we can't fucking get people hurt, especially at the quarterback.
Well, he's surrounded by great guards, right?
Yeah, he's got great talent surrounding him. Kid smart. Loved him at Iowa. Love him at center.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears are in a good position because Cody could slide to center if anything. But I really think they know what they're doing. They did it the right way. They moved him in his second year. And listen, we're gonna find out Thursday night on the all-hype defense. The Green Bay Packers.
Shayne, you feel the same?
Holy shit, dude.
Oh, sorry. You feel the same
Was
way?
that Joe Mandel?
Holy shit, dude.
We don't give a fuck.
I love that drop. Gotta give me that one. Shayne, you any concerns at all about the entire offensive line?
Yeah, no, there's James Daniels, like fantastic prospect, everything, but you can never tell how he's going to react. Although it was a great point by you bringing it up, because I mean this kid is, what is he still 20? I don't think he turns 22 until
next month, I believe.
Yeah, it's right. So he's still only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the bright lights. I mean, there's no bigger game right now, I mean, in James Daniels' career than this tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And you can think that you're going to go out there and boat race Green Bay or do anything, but it takes one bad snap. It takes one missed call at the line to totally transform a game against you. But this is why the Bears invested such a high pick in him, because they believe in him, and he's a natural center. Really, other than Cody Whitehair with his bad snaps, that was literally all that I ever worried about with him at that position, because he wasn't a natural center to me. Still played fantastic there. James Daniels is that guy.
Yep.
He was that, and I have all the confidence in the world in the kid, but it's go time now. I don't care if you're 21 years old or not. You got a year in the league. Bears believe in you. They put you there. Mitch has got to be comfortable with him. They haven't played, and they have to gel tomorrow night on national TV. Tell them, man.
They do have to gel. Claudio, you want to add anything to the offensive line? The thoughts that we got?
No, I think
shit.
No, I wouldn't say I don't know shit, but I do not want to sound too bad on my first time out. So I will take this one out. I won't say anything about the offensive line.
Well,
I agree. How about this? I agree with what everything Phil said.
Good.
How's that?
Oh shit! Where's my sound effect of somebody sucking cock?
It's making a strawberry shake.
All right.
Wait a second. One other thing on Daniels.
Okay.
He is a young football player in the NFL, played beyond his years in his rookie year as a young player.
Out of position.
Out of position, exactly. Thank you. And we had legend Olin Kreutz on this network.
Yep.
And his quote was, "This kid will be the best center to ever play in a Bears uniform." He put it over himself. I go, what?
Yeah, he didn't
He'll be
say
the
Pro
best
Bowl
center in the
potential. He
league.
said all pro.
All pro. Best center in the league. Now, guess who Olin is very close to?
Harry Houston.
Exactly. So that ain't coming from freaking Olin's assessment of him at a guard.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from everything and then hearing from the coach. So
sweet.
I think you're in good hands in the, reference department in regards to that. And I freaking love that kid. I really do.
All right, I want to, before we move on to the tight ends, because everybody in the chat room is already talking about tight ends. Slow down, guys. We're not done with the offensive line. I want to just talk about Kyle Long, because I think that Kyle Long has to begin a journey tomorrow night. And that journey is to prove to his teammates that he is a true leader. He's talked about him being a leader and needing to step up as a leader in the past, but clearly the actions that he took in practice, where he ripped off a player's helmet and threw it at him and then threw it across the field and got into that horrible fight. And if there was video of that, there would have been a lot of bad vibe against Kyle Long. But because he's been a great guy, because he's been a great player, he's getting a slide here, and because there's no video. But he needs to not only have a great game tomorrow, but he needs to be a great teammate and a great leader, not only for the Chicago Bears to win, but for him to have any future with the Chicago Bears moving past the 2019 season. Shayne, your thoughts?
I go back to what I said about James Daniels, how one bad snap can totally change the momentum, and that's something that I think about with Kyle Long, not the bad snap, obviously, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that you have a young team that is riding this tidal wave of emotion, and you lose your shit for 2 seconds and hit a guy late or punch a guy or, anything like that. And that 3rd and 15, that was a 4th and 15, all of a sudden becomes 1st and 10, and you're giving the ball back to a Hall of Fame quarterback. Again.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly, Aldo. It's his time to get beyond that, because that's the one thing that we have seen with Kyle Long are these unfortunate penalties at such an inopportune time. Everybody on this offensive line is signed long-term now.
Yep.
Except for Kyle Long.
Except for Kyle Long. And he was, he gave up money to stay on this team. Because if he didn't renegotiate his contract, he probably is not a Chicago Bear this season.
No, he's not.
And so this is huge. That.
Yeah.
This is huge.
He loves these guys. He loves being a Chicago Bear. I think he loves the cast of characters that he's surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I don't think he wants, yes, he can go someplace else and get his football fix, but you've heard everybody say it. I mean, it hasn't happened much, but there's nothing like winning in Chicago.
That's right. And he knows that.
Kyle Long fucking knows that.
Yep.
And don't think for 1 second that Chris Long, who's been around and he's won back-to-back Super Bowls with New England and with Philadelphia, his father, you don't think Kyle wants to taste that? And you don't know. Kyle Long is one of the oldest guys on the Bears roster at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Those situations can be fleeting. You never know when you're going to get them. This could be Kyle Long's, swan song in Chicago.
Right.
If he goes out there and proves it and is consistent and level-headed, he's got a chance to be back. But it's a great point. He can't go out there and get caught up in the emotion. You want him to be physical, you want him to be emotional, but he's got to be able to put a governor on it and not lose himself in that moment.
It's sociopathic, psychopathic.
Exactly.
The smartest thing Tooch has ever said.
You're so great points here on this show. I'm proud of you two going with these points because this is a huge one. This is fucking Kyle Long, the face of the franchise at one point. That's how crazy this culture was. That Kyle Long, as unstable as he was, is the face of your franchise with Jay Cutler and the twitch, the neck twitch. Like, this stuff was going on, and my life is revolving around this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck today? I'm thinking we're walking downtown. We missed Cutler by 3 fucking minutes at the Funk Barbershop. Shout out to Funk Barbershop.
Lawrence Funk, yeah.
Lawrence Funk, the barber. He is the barber of the Bears. I think Adam Johns. I want to shout out the shop. They hooked us up with some haircuts, but when we walked in, this place looks like Aldo's basement. Just full of memorabilia and antique stuff. And if you need a haircut,
I call it junk. You call it antiques.
I don't call it junk. This is awesome here. And their shop is awesome. And those guys were great, but they were like, yo, you just missed Cutler. He was in here. And one of the other barbers who didn't cut his hair, who will remain nameless because he doesn't want this. He's like, yo, that motherfucker has that neck twitch even in the fucking barber chair. After every fucking
I
cut.
don't want to stay on Jay, but what do you guys think he's obviously going to be in the stands.
It's his topic. It's a huge thing.
Well,
Everybody's talking about it in the city.
I asked my mom what she would say to Jay, and this is what she said.
Kiss my beautiful eyes.
That's exactly what she told me. So I said, okay, Mom, if I see him, I'll tell him that you said that.
Well, like Aldo, what do you think is going to be the crowd reaction? You think if they put him on the jumbotron, you think they're gonna boo him?
Yeah, I think it'll be mixed. I think there will be mostly cheers because I think the crowd will be in a good mood and forgiving. But I think that there are so many rabid Cutler haters that they're going to make a lot of noise and let him know. And I feel bad for the guy because I disagree with Claudio. Cutler didn't always have the weapons. It wasn't until Phil Emery showed up, which was about the year 5 or 6 of the Cutler era in Chicago, that he finally started to repair the offensive line by signing Jermon Bushrod and making some other moves, and then drafted Alshon Jeffrey, and then signed the troublemaker Brandon Marshall. And those were more Band-Aids. Yeah, those guys were talented. Yes, right. I liked them, and Martellus Bennett, but those guys were troublemakers more than they were teammates. It was
cancers.
Yeah, exactly. It was like trying to fix a problem by drinking.
Can you pour me a shot?
The Bears bar room.
But I just gotta, if you're
Bears
talking about
bar
teammates, though, I really hope you don't think you're saying Jay Cutler was a great teammate. I think when they say Jay Cutler at the game tomorrow, everybody should just sit back and cross their arms. And just sit back like this and just act like you don't give a crap. Because that's exactly what he did.
I am going to cheer for Jay. I'm going to give him a nice cheer. I want to support this guy.
Where's that drop about the cocksucking? Where's that?
Hold on. Let me get that drop pulled up.
You want some ice?
How about this? Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. No, of course not.
Of course not. There he is, keeping it on. No, I think Jay, for all his warts, this fucking culture that we look back on, I joke and say, what the fuck was I cheering for? It was so chaotic. It was like a Chinese fire drill. In comparison,
how many hours did we waste talking about?
Oh my God, not waste, not really waste, but it was almost therapy. Like this show, even the fucking guy coming on tonight from fucking the History Channel's Porn Stars talked about the therapy that we offered here. And I believe it too. It was therapeutic for me and you and Aldo to talk about this with the fans, the super fan. You don't fucking listen to this show if you're a fucking, fair weather fan. You're listening to this shit because you love Bears football mixed in with humor and analytics in regards to the fucking actual tape. Because that's the reality of that situation, as I would say, Shayne. But I want to just say one other point about him coming back. How many quarterbacks, name one actually, that was revered by the Bears fan base coming back in return?
They've never had any.
Exactly.
For this fan base.
So Sid Luckman.
I mean, Gandia was at the draft when Luckman got drafted.
I was there. I was actually cleaning up after George Ellis would take a shit. I'm actually playing barkeeper today. I just
serving it up.
Got some beers here.
Real.
Do you want Diet Coke with your drink? Or are you drinking that on the rock straight up?
Diet Coke is gonna be great.
Okay, I figured that.
Yeah, that was a good
you're
call.
Mr. Healthy. Diet Coke, caffeine free.
Well, I gotta say this for fucking barflies worldwide. Aldo, I saw him last, Green Bay.
Yep, December.
He fucking looks like he took 12 years off his life. No fucking hype. I'm serious, Shayne. I'm fucking proud of this guy.
Thank you.
Working hard on his body and mind.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the fucking championship run. Year 100. My hotel room.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Was 20 2020 is my hotel room.
And that's the year technically we'll be
Fucking
winning the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl year.
2020.
February 2020. I believe in spirit. When I was standing by the statue of Walter, you all know how I feel about it. He's the reason why I'm a fucking Bear fan. There was a fucking quiet wind. There was such an emotion. People there. There were fans there.
How about the lady from Ohio?
The lady from Ohio. She's
80-year-old.
I was a Jim Brown fan. And I saw this man run, this 34. And I changed over to the Chicago Bears. There's something spiritual about. And I'm so fucking glad this franchise culturally was my main point. And it's bringing it to Walter. They're embracing the culture of the past.
You pour that Diet Coke before I fucking slap you the way you're
I can't. Here we go. Get a little.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, look at this.
What is this like
Look
that?
at this.
What's that YouTube sensation? When you listen to people do stuff, what is that called?
What is it? I've never heard
You
of it.
never? Oh, my girls watch it all the time.
I forgot what it's called, but
it's like they listen to them crinkle stuff and they listen to them
Really?
chew, and it's ridiculous.
It's like a foot fetish, but
some of it is sexually
Where's Dan?
related.
Get Dan on the phone quick. But I digress.
I forgot what it's called.
Someone look that up and Google that shit. Is it the top of the hour yet?
You are listening to Bears Barroom Radio.
Are we supposed to call Brett at a certain time? You don't know. While you entertain that question, I want to ask Shayne about the tight end position because we've got a lot of comments going on in the chat room about Adam Shaheen and Trey Burton. First of all, Trey Burton.
It should all be about Trey Burton right now, really.
Yeah, really. Trey, I don't want to belabor this whole thing with, the mental health thing and injuries and so forth. I think it's suffice to say that he may not play tomorrow. And if he goes through the season where, these pop-up injuries happen all of a sudden, then it's going to become a problem. If he's going to miss the home opener, just like he missed the playoff game, it's disappointing, but I don't want to hang the guy because we don't know all the facts. And the last time I heard him talk on the Score Sports Radio, he assured everyone that was listening that his being AWOL for the playoff game had nothing to do with his mental health situation. So, I don't want to belabor that. Let's just say how much, if he doesn't play, Shayne, how much are we going to miss him?
Oh, you're going to miss him. No doubt about it, because Adam Shaheen just has never been available to live up to the expectations. And the one position on offense in the NFL, along with quarterback, and I guess you can throw wide receiver sometimes in there. It's not so much that way anymore. That takes time to make the adjustment, especially from a guy that comes from Ashland University, is tight end. And if you the old adage, you can't make the club in the tub. He's been in the tub the entire time. But, Aldo, to your point, Phil and Dan and I have talked about this ad nauseum with Trey Burton, and I understand the angst and everybody being pissed off. And I was just as pissed that he wasn't available for the Philadelphia game. But the way that I'm looking at it is all of the doubt that was in everybody's mind. This guy's a fucking pussy. Get him off the team. He missed the playoff game. He had fucking surgery. So to me, that removes any doubt right there that his issue with anxiety with the playoffs was an anxiety issue. He had surgery on his groin in May. And why was it? I would like to know, why did they wait until May if it was that bad? I know they said that sometimes it can correct itself. Was that a Trey Burton issue? Was that a Chicago Bears issue? Now, he comes back. What did they say? He's practiced for 5 days in training camp. And now he's, day to day with a...
This is a mystery novel.
It is.
I fucking hate this piece of 2019. I fucking hate it.
Right.
Because I'm like, a half of me, Shayne, sorry, fucking says, fuck you, you fucking pussy. I'm telling you that, and I'm keeping it 100 on the show. I'm like,
you always do.
Can you fucking play? You're getting paid. Danny, my boy Danny Aguirre, he fucking was speaking to me on my drive down to fucking LaGuardia, one of the dirtiest fucking airports I've ever been in my life. But he was saying, he's made enough money. Like, what is the scenario, and what makes it worse?
Dumb fucking. That's such a dumb way to look at it.
But wait, the thing that makes it worse is the mystery by the fucking GM and the coach. Like, list them day to day from the get-go. Don't give false hope. Just keep
But he played, Phil. He fucking was in practice for 5 days.
Is it a fucking mental health issue? Is it?
Did he fucking re-injure his groin?
I feel like I got to fucking...
I think people are holding him accountable right now for the playoff game. And
Dude, can anybody explain the playoff game correctly? Has anybody ever done it?
Done what?
We don't have any closure with it. What fucking happened? He was
Phil,
hurt?
he had fucking surgery.
Right, I had surgery on my shoulder after the fucking season. I played through it. I know. I just don't get how... I get the fans' point of view.
For one fucking second, that if essentially what you and Dan were alluding to when we were talking in our conversation was that he was a pussy, he's a fucking mental midget, and he should be removed from the roster. Okay, so now if you're Ryan Pace and you're Matt Nagy, and this fucking guy is anxiety-ridden and can't deal with big moments. Oh, by the way, he threw a fucking touchdown pass in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but then he fucking didn't want to do it again, Shayne. He's like, I don't want to do that again.
And
he's throwing shit on the fire, Shayne. He also
played 16 games in the... This guy has missed 4 games in 5 NFL seasons.
He fucking throws crazy fucking quotes on the fire, Shayne. Like, why did he tell that fucking reporter that, yes, I have anxiety issues and I'm...
Because he's a victim of being fucking honest. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have said that. Just like...
But then it throws caution into the wind.
That his people came out and announced him as a fucking Lululemon fucking... that's his fucking... I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
What is Lululemon?
I don't know, but I heard it yesterday on one of the shows. Shy fans in the stands.
It's an endorsement deal for him, and they fucking announced it yesterday.
Oh,
that's like the worst. That's like, he should have went with cray. Like, what? Lululemon.
That's the yoga thing that he's endorsing now?
Yeah.
Oh, bad timing.
Holy fucking timing.
But listen, my point is, this goes back to it's very, very similar to me
yoga mats
with Jay Cutler in the NFC Championship game. Oh, Maurice Jones, that fucking pussy, I'd play through.
You're right.
Here's Phil. Oh, fuck, I played at Hofstra fucking 35 years ago, and I had a fucking...
He was behind Wayne Corbett. He was behind Wayne Corbett.
Cuff, and I still fucking played.
Wait a minute.
Well...
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say that about Jay Cutler at the championship game because I was watching that game with Phil, and I was irate that he was standing on the sideline. I'm sorry, he wasn't sitting; he was standing. Okay, standing. And then when Urlacher makes a pick, you see him Cutler on the sideline jumping up and down. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have done that in a championship game.
Do you know how
Brady wouldn't have done
ligament injury works?
No, I don't. But if it was that, wait, hold on. But I know how my eyes work.
We have barber music.
I know how my eyes work, and if he's standing, he not
can
in
run. That. Claudio, if you tear your MCL and your LCL, which is what he did, you can fucking run and a fucking sprint in a straight line.
Okay.
But you can't
If you fucking cut to the fucking left, your fucking entire kneecap and everything can fucking dislocate.
I've explained this to him many a day.
I know. I just...
You can't cross step as a quarterback with no MCL. You're going sideways, even to break a handoff.
Watch one snap, a quarterback coming from under center, and watch what his legs do.
Olin Kreutz.
Fucking crisscross. He'd be fucking done.
Olin Kreutz said it, and he had the perfect opportunity. This guy doesn't fucking pull a punch. He fucking defended Jay. He said he was in fucking pain in the huddle. There was no question. He was shaking, and he was giving it his best.
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing here.
His leg was uncontrollably shaking.
It was like shaking. So
yeah.
There's a point with which an athlete owes his team in a team sport the fucking benefit of taking themselves out of the game. We all applaud and stand when someone comes back and is victorious, or is some fucking porn mustache fuck coming out of the fucking tunnel and comes back and then wins. It's fucking our time.
Right. I understand the angst, to get back to the original topic
Burton.
with Trey Burton.
Fucking Claudio.
I understand the angst of fans being pissed that he missed the fucking playoff game. Totally understand it. To me, all of that was answered with the fucking surgery. And now, people are calling this guy. To me, there's no track record there yet saying that this guy is a fucking pussy and a mental midget and so anxiety-ridden that he can't function. Maybe that will prove to be the point, but as of right now, his history shows us that he's missed 4 fucking games in 5 NFL seasons. He showed up at one of the biggest points in one of the biggest plays in NFL history. He was a part of.
Yep.
Does it fucking suck?
He made a huge catch
I have
against
questions.
the fucking Packers to win that. That's
true.
He gets open. That's the thing. He's that fucking
make an
shiny
impact on a
Christmas
game and
toy
not
with no
have
fucking.
a fucking
He's
catch.
got no batteries, Shayne.
Yeah.
Your fucking mom got you the best gift and fucking forgot the batteries. Everything's closed.
He's one of the veterans on the team, and I think, like Virginia says, I think we need to respect that.
Respect the elderly, motherfucker.
That's Virginia McCaskey. I'm going to try to get Brett Meili on the line here because I don't want to keep him up too late. Brett, for those of you who don't know, is one of the cast members of Pawn Stars, the History Channel show that is really fantastic. I know Joe Mandel was out there recently. He went
Huge fan of Brett.
Have you seen the show, Phil?
Yes, only because of Brett.
Yeah, me too.
That's when I decided to watch, because I love Brett.
I was not going to watch a show about pawning.
Claudio's a pawn guy right here.
Not really pawn. I'm more American pickers.
Oh, I meant porn. Sorry. No, he is more of a picker, not a porner. But Brett Meili was the reason why I'm like, I got to get to watching.
And
Shayne,
it's a damn good show.
Shayne knew who he was right away.
It's a good show, yeah.
I love when Brett comes in. It's like he's 007 of art.
Exactly.
Eula's father over in Czech Republic is a huge fucking Pawn Stars fan.
Really?
Huge.
Do they translate that shit, or does he understand it in English?
I don't know if it's got the
Subtitles?
fucking
Brett speaks Czech?
subtitles on it. Yeah, maybe Brett can speak Czech. I don't know.
Well, Brett, according to my Skype connection, is saying that he is unavailable. So why don't you text him, and maybe he stepped away from the phone. We can continue talking about the Bears. The one thing going back to the tight end position is I do have high expectations for Ben Braunecker. He had a pretty good camp. I made fun of him on a previous show, but the reality is that he played pretty good in camp, and this is his 3rd or 4th season coming into the program. Undrafted kid, super smart kid from Harvard.
Harvard.
Yeah, and I think that he is physically now getting to the point. When Lauren Cox and I were first at camp for his rookie camp, he was what's it say there? Oh, I see. He was being overwhelmed physically. And so now that's no longer the case. And remember what Colin Thompson, former Bears tight end, said about Ben Braunecker on one of our shows here, is that he's one of the best athletes on the team.
Yes.
So I have high expectations for him. Maybe he's not going to, play to the level of a Trey Burton, but if he's starting in place of Burton in that U tight end position that's always, in motion and so forth. I'm not too concerned about that. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him.
I have a remedy for the Trey Burton experience, whether it be hurt, mental health, shout out to Trey, or any other reason. I think Cordarrelle Patterson can play a role in your offense.
Absolutely.
In that, the fact that he's 236 pounds is fluid. His hands have been questionable, but at Tennessee, it was the same thing, and I've seen improvement. So this is a guy that can actually turn into a piece of covering what you get out of Trey Burton.
Producer?
Yes, it is the super producer, Brett Meili.
How you doing, Aldo? It's Brett here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Say hello to Draft Dr. Phil, his brother from another mother, Claudio, and, of course, the smartest man in the barroom, Shayne Marsaw.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
He's back.
Brett is back.
I think this is my third time. I think I'm eligible for the jacket now.
Right?
Yeah, it's in the mail.
We're gonna send you the 100 proof T-shirt, but only if you wear it on the show. We gotta have that deal.
Yeah, that's right. Are you allowed to wear a Bears barroom shirt on Pawn Stars?
They're very careful about that. They kind of censor any sort of promotion. They've got their own advertisers and everything. So they're pretty careful. But what I could do is probably slip something in that maybe they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So we'll have to come up with it ahead of time. I can't
those.
just say, Bears 100 proof, but maybe we can.
Right.
Maybe a quote from Aldo's mother would be perfect.
or yeah.
Which one?
Or Virginia McGaskey.
Respect the elderly, motherfucker.
That's one of my favorites. Oh, Mom.
That could be one of Rick's quotes right there. Respect the elderly.
Something like a Baba Booey. If you could come up with a Baba Booey and use it on Pawn Stars, so that the only barflies would know the reference. We got to think of something like that, not only for Brett, but for anyone in front of a TV camera or an audio microphone.
That's a great idea.
Right? We got to come up with our own Baba Booey. Brett, it is so. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shane. Go ahead.
Could he do the famous Dan Aguirre drop?
No.
Which one? This one?
I'm a huge motherfucking barfly.
There you go. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about the other one.
Oh, you were thinking about this one.
I would be willing to suck Aaron Rodgers' dick.
Yeah, I don't think they would allow that on Pawn Stars or any other cable show.
Porn Stars, yes. Pawn Stars, no.
Hey, Brett, has there ever been a parody porno movie done on Pawn Stars? I mean, the title just lends itself to Porn Stars, right?
We used to have, I kid you not, a receptionist from Buffalo. And whenever she talked to somebody and tell them where I was, everybody's like, he's where? I down at Porn Stars. Yeah, I'm like, what? So we had to give her, an accent tweak just to make sure there was no misconception there. But yeah, they should. I don't know if they've done one or not. We'll have to do a Google or something and see.
I'm sure Claudio knows. He seems to have spent a lot of time on.
Well, actually, I got a funny story because I actually went out to Vegas and to go play in the World Series of Poker tournament, and I went to Pawn Stars, and I went in there with some really old porno pictures from like the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
And I thought they would be maybe interested in them because, I mean, you're an art guy. That's almost considered art back then, right? I mean, it wasn't
art.
So, but it was graphic. I mean, it was a lot of bush, a lot of everything. It was like, but the guy that I handed them to, his words to me was, "Sir, we're a family establishment," and he handed them back to me. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Brad.
But I don't know. Would you consider that artwork or what?
I had a woman come in, and of course I'm an art appraiser, but I get all manner of different things, people coming in asking me questions, and I had a woman, no less than like a week ago, come in with a dirty flip book with Laurel and Hardy screwing two women.
I've had one of those. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you really?
I
yeah.
bought and sold one of those.
It was about as grotesque as you get.
Yeah.
Especially, you think of Laurel and Hardy, these innocent slapstick guys, and here they are,
Like a small little paper flip book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold it
But
in
I
your
guess
fingers.
that was the thing. They had a bunch of dirty flip books. That was the thing right around the 1920s, 1930s. I guess military guys would pass them around the foxhole or whatever. I don't know.
That created the cartoon.
These were cartoons of Laurel and Hardy. It wasn't really the actors, right?
No, it wasn't. It was cartoon Laurel and Hardy doing the dirty deeds. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was Laurel and Hardy approved.
Was it worth anything? Was it worth anything?
Yeah, was it worth anything?
I did a little, just some research on my own. It's not really my, bailiwick, but I did some research, and they're not. I mean, they're worth $100, couple $100, not a huge amount, but in good condition.
We're gonna have to get. That sounds like a perfect wedding gift for Joe Mandel from the bar room. Doesn't it?
Well, Brett,
did Joe make it back from Vegas okay?
Yes, he did. He is.
Okay.
I asked him yesterday while he was live on his show. I asked him in the chat room if he brought back any STDs, and he said that he was fine. So I think
not a drip. He said.
Well, it takes a while, to kick in.
Yeah.
That's right. It does take a while. Brett, one of the reasons I love to have you on is not only because you are entertaining with your stories, but you bring a great segment regarding these prop bets, and I can just kind of turn things over to you. I can take a little break. I can go get a beer, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn over not the rest of the show, but this segment to you. Why don't you take it away, present to us what the prop bets are, and we'll let Phil, Shayne, and Claudio chime in here and make their wagers.
I appreciate that, Aldo. I did have one quick question before I got started on the props, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Because you guys were talking about a couple of things. You were talking about the sculpture or the statue, the Walter Payton statue, and Phil, you were there actually earlier today, right?
Yes, I was.
And that had to have been almost like a religious experience just to go there and be at Soldier Field and have that.
Brett.
Just got unveiled 2 days ago, right?
Brett, I don't know how spirit works or God, whatever you believe, religion, but for me, I joked flying in here, this is my fucking religion.
Football.
I said it, football and the Bears. And Walter guided me here to the Bears and to the show and to the concepts and to the music and to the breakdown of it and all this shit that I'm a part of within the barroom family. And then to be underneath looking up, I took a picture of it with the flags flying and the wind, and it was so quiet there, right, Claudio?
Oh, yeah.
It was so surreal because I knew, I go, we got to go today. Claudio's fucking tired. He's like,
no, I was hungry. I was just hungry.
Sorry. He fucking ate all day.
He's in the right town.
Exactly. So I go, no, we got to go today because tomorrow's going to be a fucking zoo. Everybody's going to want a picture or be around. And it was I fucking finally got it right, Shayne.
Right in front of our gate, too.
Right in front of it's gorgeous.
The gate
they did it so perfectly by putting those two on the edges when you come out of that tunnel area. It's so you gotta be there. Even if you can't go to a game, it's worth it to walk there and see it's so well deserved. And really it was, to your point, Brett. For me and any person that considers themselves a Bear fan, it was a religious experience.
Well, we were texting back and forth, and I commented how jealous I was. And to your point earlier, you were saying that it was Walter Payton. He was the reason you became a Bears fan, and I was exactly the same way. The Bears weren't my first team. Even when I was living in Chicago, I was a Cowboys fan. I know. That was late 70s. They were America's team. I think they were actually on TV in Chicago more than the Bears. And
I think you're right.
My dad gave me a Roger Staubach number 12 jersey, and I used to wear it around. But as soon as I watched Walter Payton, I'm like, who is this guy? And slowly I switched allegiances and never looked back, and I've been a Bears fan ever since.
It's a religion.
Yeah, definitely similar experience.
Well, I apologize for laughing, but one of my close friends is listening in, and he's sending me texts, and he's wondering how drunk Phil and I and some of the other guys are. So I'm chatting about that. But religious experience when it comes to the Bears, and we need a resurrection. Yes. Starting tomorrow night. We need a resurrection of our spirits. And you know what? I got to tell you, though, this whole experience for me, it feels like the 1984, 1985 Bears. You know, after that 84 season, everybody in Chicago had a feeling. And now Shayne shared with us the John Mullen quote that he walked into the clubhouse and that the Bears are feeling this kind of sense of, this is our season. And I think the fans are feeling that same way. And the fact that they're starting off with such a prominent game, the opening of the 100th season, national television, global audience, and so forth. This is going to be pretty incredible. And I'm with you, man. I am totally into this being a religious experience. So, Brett, did we answer your question? And if so,
well, you did. You did. I had one other question about the sculpture, just for Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've only seen it in picture form, online. So, I mean, I have to be honest. As a Walter Payton fan, when they did the unveiling, I was kind of hoping to see, him high stepping along the sideline or hurdling somebody. And to me, I was looking at it, I'm like, I mean, it looks like him. I mean, the face is great, but he's just kind of casually walking. It looks like he's walking off the field, at the end of the game or at halftime. And that's the one thing I wish. I wish it was a bit more of an action shot. I mean, do you kind of have that same feeling?
I think we literally were talking about this with Aldo before the show, because other people were saying something similar, but to be there, it looks in person like he's crossed the goal line and he's decided to do what he did and give the ball to the official. So he's like just stepping into the goal line with that Walter-esque, not arrogance, but just, again, I'm here. And I totally get it too, because I was expecting like Aldo behind me with the Walter Payton hurdling with his foot up, that high step action that made him so unique. I mean, I would copy that, playing kill the man with the ball.
Phil, do you see this on my screen right now, that picture?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what they took.
That's the image that they were going to use, but they didn't put his leg at an angle on the actual statue.
Yeah. Because that's a tougher thing to do. I mean,
they just made it straight.
They made it straight, so it looks like he's
Brett's point where it looks like he's actually walking.
Interesting.
Exactly. It looks, Brett, like he's crossed the goal line. That's what we have to. That's the way I felt there. Like in picture form, I said the same fucking thing. I go, how isn't he high stepping? That Walter high step, then he's going to drop his pads and fucking put a fucking shoulder into you. And
that's why I asked, because if you're looking at sculpture, a three-dimensional media, on the screen, you just don't get a feel for it, and it flattens everything out. So, but that makes sense now, and I can't wait to see it in person. And Walter, of course, he was known for, every time he crossed the goal line, just, he'd been there so many times before, and it was just commonplace, and so that makes sense.
Very good. Well, and
so thanks, Phil.
I was hoping to see a statue of him jumping over the line of scrimmage with one of his, Superman leaps over the line of scrimmage, or the high stepping. There's just so much. When you think of Walter Payton, you think of energy and, the aftermath of a touchdown. That's, but I can't wait to see it myself. I'm with you, Brett. I want to see it for myself and then share an opinion. I think that the best statue in town of all the Chicago sports stars is definitely the Michael Jordan one. They did that one right. And
I think when you see it, Aldo, the picture does lie here.
Yeah, okay.
The picture lies, the tape doesn't. But the picture does, because being there is a serious, just an energy there that it totally looks different than what it does in angles because of what Shayne pointed out. As you know, as an artist.
I just DM'd you the two images that we were just talking about so you can see them, what we were talking about.
Okay.
So I left them for you there on Twitter.
Well, if I could just
so you can kind of see.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Claudio.
If I could just say my opinion on that is I think they picked that position because when you see them, they're huge. I mean, they're huge statues.
They're huge.
And Hallis's statue is him just standing there. So I don't think they wanted that because if they had him leaping, they would have had to put other players underneath him, and they would have had to been even bigger.
Right.
And so then it would have been more of like that's huge, and then Hallis was just small, So I think maybe that's why they chose it was for it to be just similar size and just an easier type of thing to make too. But I mean, it's big, it's huge.
Claudio, because I mean, with paintings, I mean, sky's the limit. But when you're talking about sculpture, where everything has to be anchored and to the ground, and like you say, it just expands everything. So that's a good point. I mean, and makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, I'm turning it over to you. Let's make some wages.
This is going to be fun, guys. I have a whole bunch here. I've got about 12 that you can actually bet. So barroom, barflies, if you guys want to make a bet between now and tomorrow night's kickoff, most of these are up on the Caesars Palace website. So you can actually, follow along, and if you feel like placing a wager, you can do it. The last couple, though, are props that I came up with myself that I just thought were kind of fun. So we'll just kind of hit them and kind of get your take. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about some of these, but we'll start off with the man that the offense runs through, Mitchell Trubisky. And right now, the over-under on his passing yards is 3,750 for the season.
Whoa.
It's lower, I thought.
What do you guys think?
I'm going over.
Yeah, I think that's low.
I'm going over, too.
I think that's low, yeah.
We all went over.
Yeah.
I said earlier in the year, I think this is the season where the Bears' record is broke for passing yards in a season. And I think, Mitch, this is year 100, and the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer. Let that settle into your brain a little bit. It's ridiculous, and I think that happens this year.
It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, and I
totally agree.
Yeah, and I think if Montgomery, the only way that does go under is if Montgomery just becomes a bell cow and just runs the ball, and I just don't think that's what Nagy wants to do, and I think he's definitely going to pass the ball.
No, I was trying to, as an exercise leading up to this thing, I was trying to come up with my thoughts as to yardage for Montgomery and Cohen and Robinson and Miller, and I was doing pretty modest amounts. I'm like, okay, what's their floor? What's their floor? I was getting, and I was adding everything up. Even if I went with real modest projections for these guys, it still came up to Mitch Trubisky passing for 4,000 yards.
Right.
So I'm with you guys totally over. I think it's, he's the one constant. Even if they spread the ball around, Mitch is the one that's going to get it to him. So I'm over on that too. Over under on his touchdowns. Right now the bar is set at 26.5.
I'm going over.
Over.
Yeah, over. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Same kind of logic there. Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you, Claudio. Everybody, I'd say over for sure.
I got 34. I got for Walter in year 100.
Never had a 30-yard touchdown quarterback in their history.
30 touchdown quarterback.
What was he on pace for, Mitchell, before he got hurt? He was on pace for about 3,800 yards and 30 touchdowns, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he had 14 starts, right? What did he finish with? 20? I can't even remember his stats. How many touchdowns did he have last year? Was it 24?
I think he had 24. I think he had 24 and then 12 interceptions.
Yep. So
he was pretty close to it.
Isn't that amazing, though, that 100 years of Chicago Bears football and he's not had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns or 4,000 yards? It's crazy.
100 years of football, we haven't had it. Fucking New Orleans has it every fucking year.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that.
I'm with you guys. This year it changes.
Yep.
And then we got, let's move on to the running backs. We've got David Montgomery, the rookie wonder. I noticed as I've been checking in the weeks preceding this, they've kind of bumped up his total. But right now, his over-under is sitting at 850 rushing yards.
I am on record as saying that this offense is going to take a huge leap, and I know not a lot of people agree with me, but I think he is going to go over that by a pretty wide margin, just because I think he's that type of running back. I think he beats. I'm on record saying that he beats Matt Forte's rookie rushing record, which is around what was it, 11 or 1250 maybe.
Yeah,
so I have him up. I have him up in Kareem Hunt rookie season territory in Kansas City.
What are those? What are those numbers?
He had 1,300 yards, and I don't know what the touchdowns were. I can look it up real quick.
I love where you're going. I'm with Shane. I'm in the 1,200. I want him to break Forte's cocky ass.
Kareem Hunt had 272 carries, 1,327 yards, and 8 touchdowns. 8 rushing touchdowns.
So he only had 8.
But he had 3 receiving.
Oh, so 11 times in the end zone.
Yeah, I have to go under though, because I just
You're going under.
Yeah, because
850.
Yeah, because I think with Cohen there, obviously he's going to be getting some touches too. I think I'm going to see him getting more around 200 carries, and then maybe 700 yards or so. And he'll have, it's his first year. And I think Trubinsky's going to throw the ball. I think Allen Robinson's going to have a good year.
Did you just add an N in there, Trubinsky?
Yeah,
Trubinsky.
he did.
No.
You
there
did.
You go.
Oh, I've had too many beers. I'm sorry. I've had too many beers. I'm sorry.
I don't mean any disrespect to actual cocksuckers, but Rodgers is a fucking cocksucker.
I think I'm going to have to take the over. I'm not quite as optimistic about you guys, Shane, Phil, but I do think he'll end up with about 1,000 yards, even if they, spell him quite a bit with Davis and Cohen and Cordell. I think there's really no way, as high as they are on him and as talented as he doesn't end up with at least 1,000. So yeah, I'm over too. So we got overs across the board except for Claudio.
The barber. We need a nickname for Claudio. This fucking Paisan. Aldo will come up with one.
Yeah, Rex is our quarterback.
Rex is Rex sympathizer.
Gross man.
The Rex apologist.
Gross man.
Gross man.
Well, I'll be interested to hear his thoughts on Montgomery's touchdowns. They've got the over-under set right now for 8 touchdowns. That's total touchdowns, passing and
that's total.
Receiving and
total
rushing.
Receiving and rushing.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's definitely an over. It has to be an over for that. Yeah. He'll get goal line carries.
He got 8 total touchdowns.
He'll have that just in rushing.
Aldo's in the over category.
Yeah. So
I'm in
Aldo,
the over.
Aldo, does it worry you at all that?
Aldo.
Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, though, but there's let's just say there's a rumor going around that Cordero Patterson is going to sneak some of these goal line carries as a running back to slam it in the end zone.
I saw it at Bourbonnais.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I saw it on more than one practice when they were practicing their red zone, and Cordero was taking handoffs inside the 5-yard line, and he was also going in motion out of the running back position. So he's going to, and I believe Matt Nagy is going to unveil Cordero Patterson tomorrow. He's going to be used in very unique ways. And Phil mentioned that at the beginning of the show. Shane, you talked about it too. Cordero at tight end, I would not be surprised, although that's something I did not see at Bourbonnais, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him playing close to the line, the offensive line.
Well, just think them putting him in motion. We talked about jet sweep alone at 239 pounds. That size and speed coming around with a fake handoff inside. Just that counter cross buck, for those of you in high school, that misdirection with that kind of an athlete with that size, it causes commotion and chaos inside in front of, in your front 7. let alone your backers. Then you throw in play action. That's why none of these fucking Stephen A. fucks and cowards, they don't fucking know chess pieces in football.
And he's so big, too. I don't think people realize how big this guy is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but you said Cowherd. I'm sorry. He had Colin Cowherd. He had the top 10 teams, and he had the Packers above the Bears. I'm sorry.
And he SI had the Bears. Peter King, for God's sake. Has he ever picked the fucking Super Bowl right? Thank God he's not picking us because he has this fucking last place. Like, how much of a meltdown are you predicting?
Injuries. That's what's going to...
He doesn't even mention injuries. He talks about Fangio and fucking Mitch Trubisky.
What a tired narrative about the Fangio thing. That makes me sick. And then I think a lot of these so-called pundits, they are looking for 4 or 5 teams that were in the playoffs and so automatically now will not make the playoffs because that is a recurring theme every season. And so you look, at all the teams, and immediately they want to pick on the Chicago Bears because that has been our narrative, is that we have had trouble sustaining success for some time. But if you take a closer look at this team, it's a totally different story.
It all starts with the head coach and the culture. We talked about it when Brett was fucking Washington tears. Whatever, Thanksgiving Day, Brett, when you found us. We fucking talked about the culture needing to be changed and a leader of men coming in here. Every one of them in chorus. Any Bear fan or Barfly, new listener listening in on the podcast this morning as you get ready for the fucking greatest game known as...
Sup, bitches?
That's right. Known to man. The Bears' culture has changed due to the hiring of Matt Nagy and allowing your young GM, who, by the way, Shayne believes in, giving him the power to draft, to fit, and to communicate together. The Holy Trinity's there. And that's really why these fuckers don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Tape don't lie. Culture in football, locker room. The fucking most important thing is a locker room. If those guys aren't getting along and you have fucking cancers, as Aldo was talking about, I don't give a fuck how talented your fucking locker room is.
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, you are going to fucking lose when the chips are down. When the biggest moment, some selfish ass fuck isn't going to block. You remember the Titans, that racist fuck decided and fucking Rev got hurt? They brought in Sunshine.
Your favorite movie.
Exactly. You brought in Sunshine. Some fuckers decide that they're bigger than the team. I think Nagy really has tapped in to the history and building their culture. That's where this team fucking goes out and beats the fuck out of the pack tomorrow.
Can't take it as seriously. The rain is covering my theaters.
I forgot about that drop.
I will never forget about that drop. And I will never tell the person that you are referring to that's about him.
So before I forget, I'm trying to write these down. Phil, you were over. I was over. Claudio went over. Aldo, you went over?
Yeah, I'm over on everything.
Brett, what did you...
I think I'm going to go over. I mean, 8 touchdowns I think is pretty modest. Even if Cordell steals a few, even if Mitch sneaks a few, I think 8 touchdowns is pretty modest for this guy. So yeah, I'm over. And to Phil's point, just about the team, it's really a selfless team, from an offensive standpoint too. And I think that helps the team as well because. Right. Nagy said every given week, we may have a different star, and you don't know if it's going to be, Tariq Cohen one week, Robinson, Miller. This is not an offense that's funneled through those, selfish players you guys were mentioning, like the Jeffries and the Marshalls and the Fortes, where only 3 guys got the glory.
Exactly.
Any given week, we got about a dozen guys that can shine, so it's pretty awesome.
Great point.
All right, so we ready to move on to another bullet in our chamber, Tariq Cohen, and see what they're saying about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he right now, his over-under, now they are doing total yards versus breaking it down to rushing and receiving. So his over-under for total yards on the season right now is 900.
So that's
Wait a second.
rushing, receiving, and returning then.
Well, no, the total yards, I don't think they count. I think they count, I'm going to talk about his touchdowns, and I think they do count returning there, but I don't think they count the yardage, his return yardage, and his total yards. I think it's just
that was a
rushing
very
and
smart
receiving.
thing to say, Shane.
Okay.
You're a very fucking smart man.
That's why they call him the smartest man, I believe.
Smartest man, motherfucker.
That's a tough one because,
It is.
you know,
This is tough.
And Matt Nagy, I love the transparency when he said, and this is something that Shane, Phil, and myself talked about on 100 Proof last year. It looked like towards the end of the season that Tariq was running out of bounds because there was just wear and tear going on. And Matt Nagy has recently said that they asked Tariq to do too much. Now, I do think that there's the possibility that he could earn more yards in 2019 by doing less because he'll be fresher and he'll be used in more innovative ways and so forth. So that one is a tough one. I'm glad I'm not betting. You guys do it.
My big fear there with Tariq is, you know, we're saying that Mitch is going to take this step, but I also think you're going to look at guys like Allen Robinson, I think, has the ability to take a real big step. I think David Montgomery is going to have a huge effect in the passing game. Now, is that going to take away from Tariq's overall numbers? And I think it has the ability to, because he can he's a guy that can dictate coverage without touching the football. And that is because he had
Shane, what is Tariq? Here is a key. We all talked about my guy Jordan Howard and the criticism with the catching, but we knew what Jordan was, and Tariq was if Jordan was the left hand, Tariq was the right hand. You had your thunder, you had your light. But now you got David Montgomery, and David does all of it.
All of it.
There's no need to bring Tariq. So does Tariq become Theo Riddick?
And we haven't even talked about this guy yet, and he was right out of the gates they signed this cat. They love,
Davis.
From everything that I've heard, they love Mike Davis. He's probably going to be the guy that you see get the first carry.
Former Redskin
for the Bears. Mike Davis. But
yeah, I agree.
Oh man, so 9. Last year, Tariq had 444 rushing yards and 725 receiving yards. I'm going to go, Jesus, this is...
Tariq is another piece of the puzzle for those of you scoring at home that can replace Trey Burton. For those of you scoring at home. Not positionally, but in the concept routes of yards and getting open interiorly. So in the slot, playing that slot. And that, if you watch the tape, Trey Burton is lining up in the slot a lot. He's not fucking an inline tight end. He's that then motion, then put him outside. And then fucking run shovel pass to Shaheen, which I fucking don't get. But, yeah, go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go under.
Going under?
Yep.
And you threw those stats out from last
I don't feel good about it. I feel like I think that there's a connection there with Mitch and with Allen Robinson, and I think you saw Mitch in the clutch rely on him. I think that was obviously evident in the Philadelphia game, and I just have this feeling that he's going to blow up this year, Allen Robinson. That can take away from Tariq's yards. David Montgomery's obviously going to take away from some of the receiving yards that would go to Tariq Cohen. Mike Davis also has that ability, and obviously, who knows? Maybe Adam Shaheen does stay healthy and he can gobble up some yardage also. But I don't feel confident about it, but I'm going to go under.
This could be a year where the yardage goes down, but the touchdowns go up.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns receiving and 3 rushing. I don't feel good about it, but I'll go with it. I'm going to go under 900.
So it's 900 is the mark, Brett, right? Total.
900 is the mark. total rushing and receiving.
I gotta agree with Shayne. I don't know how they're gonna use him. I don't think a zebra changes his stripes, and I think he is a third down. He's looking to make the big play. If he can get coached up to run the design, then he could be deadlier than what he is. But
stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. Don't run to the sideline every single time.
I couldn't make shit up. People got upset with me because I was so critical. Even friend Emery Hunt. I'm like, Emery, fucking tape doesn't lie, man. Explain this shit to me. You're running outside zone or sweep. A zone-based sweep. And you got two guards in front of you, and this kid's fucking bouncing. All he has to do is put his foot in the ground and cut. Up the field, pads down. Joe Morris-esque at that size. And he just doesn't do it. He just goes out of bounds. But then he'll turn around and make a huge play. He's explosive. He's talented. He just instinctively, in the philosophy of what they do, he doesn't get it sometimes. And then, you know, the next play will fucking take a counter play for fucking 85 yards. But one thing he does do, and I said it to Shayne, Theo Riddick could play slot and beat people and become a weapon of mass destruction on defensive coordinators, because your third corner is your weak corner, supposedly. Everyone's looking for fucking nickel corners. You matched Cohen up on somebody, you saw the big plays. Every time he's matched, he could do it. So that's where he could pile up yards for this. But I'm going to side with Shayne here, and I'm going to say he's going to be 848 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be real close.
It's going to be
the thing that I'm defaulting to with Tariq is when Burton was out in the playoff game versus Philly.
Oh my God, they didn't even use him.
I'm blanking on Philadelphia's safety. They're the kid from Jenkins.
Jenkins from Ohio State.
Didn't have to. He made the comment himself. He didn't have to worry about Trey Burton because he wasn't there. So his focus shifted to Tariq Cohen. And what did Tariq Cohen do in the playoff game other than his return at the end? And we're not going to count those. He was damn near non-existent.
Did he have a play? Did he make a play
in the return game?
I know that. I'm saying
he had one nice catch that I was surprised that he caught because he got fucking destroyed.
Oh, yeah. He got lit.
Yep.
I think Aldo's right here. I don't know if it's the next question, but I think his touchdowns go up.
So I'm going under. Phil, you went under, right?
Yep, I went under.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under. Yeah, I'm gonna go under too.
Opinion?
Claudio.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under too. I mean, unless for some reason Montgomery does, get a lot of the carries and Nagy maybe even uses Cohen almost like he used Tyreek Hill, more in the slot and using him like that because he is, pretty damn fast. So, but I don't think that's gonna go down. So I'll go under.
Big boy
Barber.
Barber.
I think I'm going to join the chorus. I'm going to say under. To Shayne's point, I think Tariq Cohen was really a security blanket for Mitch. And just like, a kid, as you grow up, you don't need your security blanket as much. So I think a lot of those passes that were, out in the flat to Tariq are going to go downfield to Robinson and Miller. So, yeah, I'm going to take Cohen in the under, too.
We're all there.
So that brings us to, as you were saying, Phil, that brings us to his TD total. Okay. Right now, Vegas has got his over-under at 6 total touchdowns. Now, as Shayne alluded to, that does include special teams touchdowns.
So Aldo's right here. I'm going over, what was it, 6?
6, yeah.
Oh, over.
I will also take the over on that.
He might get 2 tomorrow.
Me too, yeah.
That's easy money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, there's one thing I've learned living in Vegas for 27 years.
Yeah.
The easy money ones are usually the ones that lose, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm putting big bucks on that. I'm putting $10.
Big spender. All right, so we're all over on the touchdowns for 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this one's going to get a little tricky. This is the kind of the guy left out of the equation, Mike Davis. Believe it or not, you can actually bet his total rushing yards.
Oh, wow.
And right now they have over-under set for him at 300, nice round number, 394.5.
I'm going
Oh,
over.
they put the 0.5.
Yeah, they put a 0.5 on that.
They
Oh,
put a
wow.
0.5. I have no
3.5
idea why.
on the friggin'
It's
thing.
not like it's like 3.5 points or something, like a point spread. So I don't get it. But oh well, that's what they did.
Hold on.
I'm going.
Hold
I'm
on.
going over, and my reasoning here is Bobby Bombs might have alluded to this on the tailgate show.
The original.
But, yeah, the original, right? The tailgate show. The format, obviously we're looking for Mitch to take that next step, but they believe in Mike Davis. Like I said, they went out right out of the gates, got this guy. They obviously targeted David Montgomery. They went up and got him. This 4-minute offense is going to, I totally agree with what Bobby said. I think that they're going to feature the running backs the way that they wanted to last year in that 4-minute offense. And I think Mike Davis will be a part of that. He said, what was it, 390? What?
394.5.
394.
He had 514 yards last year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he was in a committee last year and had 514 yards. So, I mean, he'll be in a smaller committee.
Yeah.
Big boy Barber coming up with
I'm
nicknames.
going over.
Sorry for being a dick, but I am a dick.
Yes. That's my drop. I made him make that one.
I'm going over with Davis as well. It's going to be under 500, but it's going to be over 395.5 FM. Dan McMahon.
Last Claudio?
Year.
I said over,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead, Claude.
Oh, no, yeah, I
he
said
said
over.
over.
Yeah, I
He said over.
Oh, did you? Okay.
He gave the great stat in a group last year. In a crowded backfield, he had 517.
Brett actually said 514 first, but
Who did?
Yeah,
Shayne?
Yeah, he got
no.
514 last year.
Yeah.
And as you guys were saying, that was in a similar committee situation up in Seattle. So I'm going to say over, too. I think, that's a pretty modest total as much as our offense spreads it around. And, all it takes is, Montgomery to maybe have an owie and then sit him for, a game or two. And Davis is a featured guy, and he could easily go for 100. So, I'll say over as well.
Nice.
And that brings us to the receivers. The big boy, the guy that I think Shayne's predicting big things from, and I am too, because he's the only Bear that I drafted in my fantasy league, Mr. Allen Robinson. And right now they've got the line set over-under on his receiving yards at another nice round number, 962.5.
You weren't listening to the Tooch's take on Anthony Miller?
I wanted Anthony Miller, but I had drafted Robinson, and Miller was still available, and I couldn't bring myself to having both of them. In our league, you kind of have to spread it around a little bit. So
Aldo took David Montgomery round 1 in the Bears barroom draft. He is a believer.
I'm usually a very serious drafter in fantasy football, and so I went into this season with the notion of, what, I'm going to take some risks. I'm just going to be a rebel, and I'm going to, particularly since I had the 4th overall pick, and because I didn't know Ezekiel Elliott was going to sign after the top 3 running backs were gone, I said, you know what, I'm not really confident that any of the other top running backs are going to do well, but I am confident that David Montgomery is going to have a good year. So I'm going to grab him because in a 14-team league, David Montgomery won't be around when I pick again in round 2 towards the bottom. So I snapped him, and I still got some good running back depth. So I'm not displeased by the risky move. I might be after a couple of weeks. I don't think it's as stupid as taking Jordan Howard with the number 1 overall pick in the entire draft. But
I put all my chips in.
Yes, you did.
Speaking of Jordan Howard, did you guys see the news that involved him today?
Breaking
They're going to do a
news.
trade. They were thinking about doing a trade with Gordon.
Are you
Philadelphia,
serious?
yeah. Philadelphia offered him to San Diego in a deal for Melvin Gordon.
And a couple mid-round picks.
Holy cow!
but I think they turned it down.
Yeah, San Diego turned it down.
Why would you get rid of that cancer?
Yeah.
He's
on my fantasy team. Play him week 1.
McCoy is on mine, and he got cut only to be picked up by the Chiefs and make me even look smarter as a fantasy driver.
Yeah, you lucked out on that one.
I got
no
Jordan
luck,
Howard
Shayne.
on my team. Hey, Phil, guess what round I got Jordan Howard in this year? Just
Let me
show
guess.
you how the mighty's fallen.
12. How many rounds
14.
do you have? Okay, so I was
we have a
close.
16-round draft. I got him in the 14th round.
I was going to guess 14.
Killer steal.
You were going 14?
I was going to guess that it would be a 14th round pick. Yeah, I mean, it's a crowded
14th round.
backfield with Philadelphia. It's going to be hard for him to get touches, I think.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is going to be the guy there. I think.
I think so. Yeah,
he's gonna.
I love.
It's
Penn
a
State
weird
backs.
running back situation. That's
Yeah,
sort of going to fall under the New England running back situation, which is don't touch.
I had to take Sony.
I think I gotta say I think Jordan Howard's going to have a good year. I mean, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. This is the final year of his contract.
Right, that's a big one.
I don't know. So I think he may be hard to bench, even if they do have a hot shot rookie. So yeah, we'll see.
It's
But I
gonna be
figure
interesting.
14th round, it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're making deals. You're getting things done in the 14th. You're cooking with
If he
fire.
ends up starting for the Chargers, I mean, my
There you
God,
go.
that'd be a coup, huh?
Phillip Rivers with a sidearm screen.
We're on Allen Robinson over, right?
What was the Allen
over
Robinson?
900, right?
Look at Claudio.
I think, the over under 962.5 FM.
Yeah,
This is Dan McMahon, and you're listening to Country 92.6.5. We don't square dance, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Brett, did you do the last one already?
He's giving
Yeah,
you
we
92.
finished Mike Davis, so now we're on to Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, over under.
Okay.
I said over on Davis.
Because I want to add one when you're done, so that's why I was asking.
Sure. Yeah, we have just about 4 more to go.
Okay.
So Robinson, we've got over under 962.5.
So I went over on Robinson. Phil, what'd you go?
Over.
Oh yeah, over all day.
Is there an over song? Over here, over there, over here, over there. Allen Robinson, don't care. Who the fuck are the Packers corners? I don't even. My boy from Iowa.
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, and Kevin King.
Kevin King.
And they brought
wait,
what's his ass back? The old man.
Did they bring the old man back? What's his name?
No.
How many years did he fucking... He went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
What's that dude's name? Fucking cocksucker motherfucker.
But they drafted the kid from Iowa that's been a disappointment.
Yeah, that was my boy.
Darnell Savage.
No, he's from Maryland.
that's
Safety.
Last year they
What's the
took
kid
him in
from
the second
Iowa?
round that dropped.
What the fuck was his name? Josh.
Yeah, Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
It's been a disappointment, yeah. It's like most of Phil's draft picks that he comes up with, but
Oh, jeez. Here we go. Where are you? Over, Aldo?
On A-Rob, what was the number on A-Rob?
96.2.5.
962 and a half.
That's definitely an over, and I haven't been tracking my picks, but from what I've been hearing, I'm over on most of these, and I recall that last year I was under on most because there was just I didn't know much about Matt Nagy's offense, and they had so many weapons, it was going to be spread out. But I, from the bottom of my heart, I truly believe that this is going to be an offensive powerhouse team, and there's going to be some super numbers posted up there, and it's going to start tomorrow night against the Packers.
At first he was afraid, he was petrified. Didn't know how Mitch Trubisky, he would stay alive.
Nice. Very good.
So, Brett, were you over on the 960?
I think just to be contrarian, just so we're not all, slapping each other on the back, I'll say under, even though I've got him on my fantasy team, and I'd love nothing but, for him to have a 1,200-yard, 1,300-yard season. But, as much as I think Anthony Miller's going to step up, he's healthy. I could see him easily challenging Robinson for the team lead. So I could see them both, coming in around 900, 950, somewhere in there. So, like I say, just for the sake of, keeping it a little bit different, I'll say under on Robinson, but I think it's going to be real close. I think he'll be, 950, right around there.
Look at you.
So I'll say under. Claudio, you have an opinion? Are you over?
yeah. I'm gonna do over too. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Go with your heart.
So,
yeah. I mean, like I said, I think he's gonna be a go-to guy for Trubisky.
True.
Trubisky. And true that. So yeah.
So that
over,
brings us over for everybody but me, and then we've got Anthony Miller. We've got the over/under on him receiving yards 600.
600? That's all?
600. That's it.
Holy. Sleeping on Anthony like Tooch and fucking Berlissimo on draft day.
He had 433 receptions for 423 yards, but 7 touchdowns.
Playing with a bum shoulder with that, he couldn't use his hands to.
And how many long passes did they just miss?
Oh my God! Think about the fucking final pass.
Yeah,
it almost was like a fucking stole the time out the clock. It wasn't even like it was an effort throw. That play
that he was
still
gonna
pisses
fucking
me
drop
off.
that in the bucket, and he was gonna have the fucking walk off. I was ready to tell my mom to go fuck herself.
I thought he was fucking
She's
lay
not
out.
listening. I wasn't really gonna do it, but I would have felt a whole lot better.
Oh my God, that ball was up there. I'm fucking. You
It
know
was.
the TV is much different than being there. Like Braggsy was at that game. We're looking at it. Ball goes off the screen like fucking Jeff Blake pass.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Tell me he's dropping this in the fucking bucket. Because I saw they went man coverage.
They did.
And I go for it. Fuck yeah. And he fucking did. And it was a fucking he had that fucking one-on-one. If I was
he
the
throws
coach.
that another yard or two to the left.
Oh, he tracks and carries.
It's a walk-off.
As a coach, I would have had Allen Robinson in the slot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He would have been
I
there
swear to
matched
God,
up, and he would have been.
I was literally
the
just going to
call
say
would
that.
come
so,
from
you
me.
Go with the size there.
It would be like, okay, all goes, hit 12. That would be my in the fucking helmet. He was like, what's that NBA fire? What was it? He's on fire.
I remember that NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Boom shakalaka.
Allen Robinson. I can't wait to see that fucking guy. It's again Christmas morning.
What was the
night.
yardage on Miller? 600.
Yeah, paltry 600. I think
Straight
I know
up.
where we're all going on this.
Yeah.
It's not 600.5?
Light 100.5. Everybody's going over.
No, you know what? I'll go under.
Claudio's
just
going
because,
under.
again, like you said, we can't
Go
be
with
patting
your
each other
heart.
on the back. I think the emergence of Wims could maybe take some passes away. So
I used to like Claudio. I was jinxing us.
I don't think people want to hear us all agree. So we got to disagree a little bit, right?
Yeah, my buddy is texting me, James, and
This guy's does he have fucking free minutes tonight?
James does, yeah, I think he does. He's a big Cowboys fan, so I gotta sneak in. The over under on the Cowboys is 9 wins. All of us believe it's gonna be under, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's just no fucking doubt about it. And he's also complaining about the fact that we're using the F word so often.
Really?
So fuck.
Tell him it's past his bedtime then.
Well, I texted back to him when he said that. I texted back, "Fuck you."
This is 100 proof. What's his name?
His
Yeah,
name
like
is
he didn't
James.
drop a couple F-bombs when Dak asked for $40 million a year.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like, fuck
And
that.
he didn't. He should have.
He wanted him fucking traded. I heard you.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but I'm going to kick you repeatedly in the balls.
Who the hell's that?
Will Ferrell.
Will
right?
Ferrell.
Oh, that's
He
right.
was talking to
Brothers.
Gardaki.
That's
Step
right.
Brothers. That's right. Gardaki was the kid's name. Remember they come
I'm
out
sorry,
of the fucking
Brett.
helicopter.
Take it away.
No sweat. We got just 2 more, and these are just more team-related props. The first one relates to the D. The over/under here in Vegas for their takeaways, and they had 36 last year. Their takeaways this year, they've got an over/under set at 26.5.
How can it be under when you got Clinton Dix on the team, and that's his specialty? Adrian Amos had 3 career interceptions. Haha, I think it was last year, had 4, and he played for 2 different teams. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before that. So I just think as long as they're rushing the quarterback, that's going to be over. The only thing that would concern me is that offensive coordinators have had the offseason to kind of strategize as to how to have a more effective offense and avoid the turnovers against the Bears defense. But I still think that's got to be over.
Do you think with Pagano, if he made the quote himself, yeah, we got this 52 and we're going to send him that way more than this other way, saying that he's going to send him towards the quarterback a lot more. Do you think the sack numbers, you could see an increase there, which would bring down the turnover numbers?
Yeah. That's
maybe the interceptions. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But they had some stat today. I think it was dumbass Rich Campbell talked about it, about teams.
Turnovers.
Yeah, going back to back.
Total turnovers.
Total turnovers, right, Shayne?
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of texts coming in. Claudio's wondering. 26.5 FM.
I think they're going to hit 30, so I'm going to go over.
Yeah.
I'm going over. Absolutely. I think Aldo fucking hit it out of the park. The pass rush.
Right.
The pass rush sets it all up.
Yep.
And you got it. I don't give a fuck if it's fucking Chris Conti back there again. I think.
What's his
Chris
name?
Aldo,
Conti.
you're over, Aldo?
Yes.
26?
Definitely over.
Yeah, and I'm over. I think actually HaHa Clinton Dix is gonna do a Khalil Mack from last year. He's gonna have a sack and 2 picks just in this game. So, tomorrow.
He's throwing a fucking.
That's it. Sack, and it's a bold prediction. And one of those, you know what? One of those will go for a touchdown. Why not?
It's funny you mentioned that. I was telling somebody else, Claudio. I said, I bet you they bring HaHa on a blitz or 2.
Yeah, it's his old team. I mean, obviously it's his old team. He's gonna wanna ball out. So
what if? Would you put it past Nagy to bring him in on offense and throw him a pass?
Ooh, now you're talking.
God.
Hey, man.
I'm waiting for Eddie to get a fucking deep seam route. You don't want to get him hurt, but I want to see that mother.
Yeah.
He's been dying for the ball.
So Brett, are you over 26?
I think I'm going to go over 2. I mean, everything I've read talks about how they can't sustain it. But I mean, that's a 10 turnover swing between the 26 and a half and 36.
Yeah.
So I think they may not sustain it, but I'm with you, Shayne. I think they come in around 30 or 29 somewhere in there pretty easily. So.
You know what gives me confidence?
All over.
You know what gives me confidence in that too is the play of Deion Bush in the preseason.
Yes.
That if anything happens to HaHa or Eddie Jackson, that he can come in there. Yeah, he's not going to probably play at their level, but he's going to play at a high level, and there's not going to be a huge drop off, which is something that I was afraid of before the preseason. I didn't think that Deion Bush was ready for prime time, and it looks to me like Deion Bush is probably going to be the starting safety alongside Eddie Jackson in the 2020 season.
Most improved doctor award from last year to this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my guy.
Nice.
Most improved. You weren't on that show.
I guess not.
Fucking 2 Scoops stepped in.
Ah, Joey.
Fucking 2 Scoops.
Take it away, Brett.
All right, now this next one, I think I can put us all down for an over. This is a pretty obvious one, but the over/under season wins for the Bears, they've got it set at 9.5.
Yep, I'm over.
Over everybody. Yeah.
Wrong pipe.
I just, if the team stays healthy, I mean, obviously, as you guys have said, I mean, health is the big equalizer. But if this team stays even reasonably healthy, I can't see them coming in under 10 wins.
Yeah, no, I agree too. Definitely over. I mean, their team is better than it was last year, in my opinion. And I think it's definitely going to be a good year.
Over. Definitely the over.
Okay. All right, overs all around. I have, just real quick, Aldo, a couple of fun little props that I came up with.
I got one prop that I want to throw at you. Ready?
You want to go ahead first?
Yes. Then you finish us out.
All right.
you brought this idea up while we were talking, so this is going to be the Brett Meili Award. Any barfly can be involved too, but they got to do it before tomorrow night. Anyone who gets it right will get a T-shirt, a Bears 100 proof, new improved T-shirt. Wait till you fucking see these things, Brett. Fucking beautiful.
They are.
I'm going to send...
They are awesome.
I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be rocking it tomorrow downtown at the, what park? Grant Park. We're going to be all up in there. Fucking Chance the Rapper left, so we got the backup. We got Chase Daniels rapping.
Meek Mill.
But anyway, each of you will get a shot, too. The first defensive player to score a touchdown this year. Whoever can get that right. If it's a double, it's going to go to the first person that at Bears Barroom. So you're going to at Bears Barroom at Twitter. Aldo will keep track of it. And if you get it right, this way, if there's fucking 12 people that say Eddie Jackson, it'll be the first one that does it. Then, if it happens, you get it. So I'll make sure we keep track of that, but...
So we're doing our own here?
Yeah.
Or you're putting that out to the public?
Yeah, the public's involved. Every barfly worldwide. You can tweet that tonight.
Hashtag it something. What should we hashtag it? Bears DTD. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, Bears D with a capital D.
Yes, please.
TD.
There you go.
There you go. So you hashtag that, tag Barroom in, you get it, it's going to be yours. You tell us what size. But everybody here on the panel, the eve of the fucking greatest season known to man, football season, is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
Bears, Packers, who do you guys got?
I have number 58, Roquan Smith, on a scoop and score.
Wow.
Shayne, I was going to say Roquan. But shit.
You're allowed. You're second. Shayne would win the T-shirt in that game.
Yeah,
We'll cut it in half, bro. I'll give you half of
it. Brett, you could say keeping it 100 on your show. You could sneak that in there. Say, you know what? I'm going to keep it 100 with you.
That's what Johnny Bradley did.
Johnny Bradley. I'm stealing, Shayne. You knew exactly.
That
Shout out
is
to our
good.
boy. So, Brett, when you come up to the next assessment, that'll be like a tip of the cap to Bears 100 Proof and Bears Barroom when you go, well, you know, Miss Helene Jackson.
Is this painting real? Hey, Janice, I got to keep it 100.
I got to keep it real, man. I got to keep it.
Or I could say, hey, you want proof? You want proof?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, come. I'm going to keep it 100 proof with you now.
You can't handle the proof, Janice.
The original.
Nah, I'll work that in. That's a good idea. We'll do something for sure.
That just popped in my head. That's how we go here on 100 Proof, James. God's sake.
James is man.
He's still going.
He's going, man.
Remember when you used to fucking have minutes on your phone? So, like, after 9 o'clock, your mom was like, okay, use the phone then. They're free. But
James has his minutes kicked in, I guess.
His minutes are all kicked in.
Man, he is.
Your phone has been lighting
He's going off on you guys. He's saying, you guys are idiots. He wants to come on and debate you guys.
Oh, my God.
This is a Mike Glennon supporter, right?
He's a Cowboys fan.
He's a Cowboy fan. This is the Cowboy fan.
He grew up
the one that didn't like us swearing.
Yeah, right. He grew up in Wisconsin.
What the fuck is up with that?
And so you would think, right, he's going to be a Packer fan. No, he chose the Cowboys.
How old is this guy?
James is, I think, about 10 years younger than me. So maybe, more than that.
So
probably in his 40s.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
Poor James.
All right, James.
It's 100 Proof, James.
He says, I really want to destroy these guys right now.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
On what? Remember the last guy that came?
What topic
it
did
was
Maybe he
ridiculous.
should concentrate on his $100 million running back.
Yeah.
I know. That's what
What
he's
are
taking. He's
James'
taking his frustration
thoughts?
out on everybody here.
That's what it is.
It is.
He's taking his frustration out that his team just made the stupidest contract since Jay Cutler's contract.
Oh, here taking shots.
I think that Brett has seen this kind of behavior on Pawn Stars before. You know, people are just so disappointed with the piece of art that they bring in. It's worth nothing. And they start to lash out at Brett and the producers and the cameraman and so forth. They added all that stuff out.
Have you ever had anybody go?
I was just going to ask you.
Crazy?
Did they have to restrain anybody around your feet or anything?
They've had some people that have gone kind of. I mean, I've been lucky. I've had a few people that have disputed what I've said and everything, but nobody's gone nuts. But they've had a few people that they've had to escort from the premises and things like that. And
wow.
I got to say, sometimes they kind of encourage it because it makes for good TV, and they'll kind of poke the bear a little bit. They'll the producer will say, that's awfully low. That's a lot lower than what you wanted. Well, how does that make you feel?
Oh Jesus! They fucking fall for that like sheep too.
Yeah, they
know
do.
what? You're fucking right. Travel all the way from Kansas City.
You guys want to have fun with James, real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, Phil, you can't participate because you know the answer.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys some numbers here. This is 2 quarterbacks. This is a former quarterback, and this is one that currently plays, and I want to give you these numbers. The first guy played in 165 career games. He had 32,942 yards, 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions. Second guy played in 141 career games, has 29,357 yards, 190 touchdowns, and 148 interceptions. Do you guys have any idea who those 2 quarterbacks are?
Why, yes. Okay. Yes, I do.
Now, what's the context?
Are they on the cow? I mean, is it Bears, Cowboys? Just could be any team.
Yeah, you got to give them a little.
You got to give a little bit of
great call by the.
One of them is in the Hall of Fame.
There you go. Now,
and one of them's currently playing in the NFL right now.
One's in the Hall of Fame.
I'll say the Hall of Fame quarterback's got to be Troy Aikman.
Okay.
Look at this guy.
That's so you're guessing Troy Aikman? All right.
Yeah, I'll say Troy Aikman.
And who's the other guy, Brett?
Let's see. And the other one would be currently playing. God, let me think.
Mike Lennon?
Josh McCown?
Claudio, help me out.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm still trying to. And those are a lot of numbers. Those are a lot of numbers thrown at me. I didn't know I needed to have a pen and paper for this.
NFC or AFC with the current player. Maybe that'll help.
Just go through. I'm sorry. Just go through the numbers.
Right, you want
more
a pen
time.
and paper so you can
No. Just do it one more time. I'll get it this time.
Okay. The first guy played in 165 games. 32,942 yards, 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions.
It's definitely and 9 concussions.
the second guy is 141 games, 29,357 yards, 190 touchdowns, and 148 interceptions.
Mark Sanchez?
No, Jesus, no.
Still playing.
Yeah.
All right.
John Elway? No.
Did you give him a division?
No. This guy that we're trying to figure out, he's still playing.
Yes.
He's still playing, and he's in the AFC.
There you go. Now they're getting close.
I'll give you another one.
Give him another hint.
Joe Flacco.
Okay.
No.
So you're saying Troy and Flacco. Aldo, you have any guesses?
I'm going to go with Brian Hoyer.
Oh, my God.
I'll go with... Well...
Who is the Hall of Famer?
The Hall of Famer is definitely Troy Aikman. It's either Roger or Troy.
Claudio?
Yeah, those are the
I said Elway before. It's probably not right, but then I'll do Phillip Rivers.
Okay. Aldo, did your boy chime in on who he thought it was?
He's talking about Romo has more than 34,000 yards.
Well, he's not in the Hall of Fame and he's not playing, so
that's right.
He can't be one of the answers.
Come on, James. I think James is really angry right now.
Okay, so do you guys want the answer?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, so the Hall of Famer is Troy Aikman.
Well done, Brett.
The second quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, that was a curveball. That was good. That was good.
Dun, 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 dun.
And James is typing furiously right now. All right, so take it away, Brett.
I think Aikman did better in big games than Fitzpatrick, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and it was a different league back then, you know. And Aikman, his main duty was handing the ball off to Emmitt Smith. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
So he was a glorified Bobby Avellini. That really pissed off James.
That was the whole point.
Well done.
All right, guys. Maybe James will want to chime in on this one. I got a fun prop for you guys. All right, you can't bet this in Vegas. You got to find like a bookie or something. But
wait, did anybody? We didn't finish Phil's prop bet with who you guys picked.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Finish it up. So Shayne had scoop and score Roquan, Claudio.
Well, I'll go with my earlier prediction and say, Clinton Dix tomorrow night, baby.
Whew.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be Leonard Floyd. Just bank on that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He has big games.
Inside info or something?
I have inside information.
He has big games against the pack.
Yeah, this is like the Michael Strahan. You know, got Brett Favre allowed Michael Strahan to sack him to get the record. This is the same thing.
Wow.
Nice. Who's your guy, Brett?
You know, I could take the easy way out and say Eddie Jackson, but I'll say Buster Screen. Why not?
Oh, nice one. I like
He'll
that.
step in front of a short slant and take it back.
Can I just say one of the best football names?
Yeah.
Buster Screen. Yeah. I mean, you're born to be a cornerback, right? I mean,
bust that screen
almost as
up.
good as Algie Crumpler.
Oh.
Remember Algie?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
We could do a whole show.
I don't
on
know.
just
We've had some great
names.
kicker names. You know, Cody Parkey and Connor Barth and.
Yeah, they're great.
Carlos Santos.
We did have a great one in both name and player. Robbie Gold. Good as gold.
Maybe.
And how do you get rid of him because of one bad season? I never fucking understand.
Remember, there's something to this kicker name kind of bullshit. It's kind of thrown stat, but fucking Gold
Twitter.
was good. Right?
You got a bunch of guys that sound like frat boys that should be wearing pennants and sweaters around the neck and waving pennants.
Parkey.
Yes.
He's fucking
Cody Parkey.
He's parking cars for the fucking Cubs right now and the valet. Oh my God, Barth.
I'm dying to hear this prop bet that Brothers came up with.
That's a perfect segue to the next prop, because my prop is. Okay, the number of kickers used by the Bears this season, the over-under is 1.5.
Ooh.
They gotta give he went all Scooby-Doo.
All right, let me tell you this. I am laying it all on under on this one. I am convinced that Eddie Pinheiro is going to be not only the kicker for the Chicago Bears throughout 2019, but for the next 10-plus years.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Holy, that deserves a song.
In those fucking brownies you were eating earlier.
I'm about to go all 5 years up in this bitch. Oh, yeah. I'm about to go all 5 years up in this bitch.
Oh my God.
He went all 5 fucking years up in fucking Pinheiro's ass right now.
That's right.
Holy cow.
I just dropped some LSD. That was a result of that.
I love this confidence.
I'm serious about Eddie P. He's going to be our kicker, and I am usurping everybody else's bet. I'm betting for them. It's definitely under.
Well, I'm going to go just as crazy as you and just say Nagy says fuck it and goes no kicker, just goes for it every fucking fourth down and say fuck looking for a kicker. That's it. So there you go.
So it's a 0. No kickers
So it's an
on,
under.
on
That's
the
an under.
roster.
That's an under.
There is a high school coach that believes in that. He does
That's
not
right.
kick.
I saw that.
And
Yeah.
he onside kicks every kickoff.
Oh, that's right. And it works in his favor.
Yeah, it does. The
Yes.
numbers fucking.
He plays a percentage.
He plays that fucking Jeopardy. That fucker that won all that money.
I think Matt Nagy is one
Claudio.
more double doink away from adopting that philosophy.
I think parkey is what it sounds were. Like when it hit the post and then the upright parkey. That was it. That was the sign.
Well done.
No more beer for Claudio.
Having too much fun.
Okay, what do you guys say on the 1.5?
I'm going over.
Really?
unfortunately. I am.
Oh, man.
It's just a hard place to kick, man. And I don't think the pressure in the crowd and all that shit's going to get to him. But it's just that wind is a different beast in Soldier Field. And he's a Florida guy. And I love his enthusiasm. I think that spreads like wildfire. But, man, you saw the fucking angst with that fucking missed extra point, and he rebounded from it, and I was so happy to see that. But literally every fucking what's going to happen tomorrow night, Aldo, if there's 3 seconds left and the Bears have a 56-yard field goal?
And what's the score?
The Bears
They
are down
need
by
him to
2,
win.
and there's 3 seconds left, and they don't have any timeouts.
If Eddie told Chris Tabor and Matt Nagy, I can hit that because
no, I know they're gonna kick it. I mean, they're gonna take the chances. But I mean,
Do you think he's gonna make it? Is what he's saying.
Oh, I see.
You believe in him?
I believe in him. Yeah, I do. I really do believe in him.
I go to the.
I mean, one thing you got to say for him, he's at least going to Soldier Field and
Yes.
there.
I love that.
I go to this. Dan Aguirre, barroom colleague. If you haven't listened to his podcast going on, I just love this guy. I think he's super talented. I enjoy. He said something that made me have to go back and look at Kevin Butler. And he texted me and Shayne. I don't know if he ever put it on social media, Shayne.
Right.
But he brought back thoughts on Kevin Butler and how terrible he was in critical situations. Yet his thought in my head as a Bears fan was, yeah, I remember that Vikings loss in the dome where they supposedly turned on the air conditioner high, and I would remember where I was when I saw it blow left, and I'm like, I remember that. I fucking hated him for that. But I always thought, well, he's a good kicker, but then you look at the history and how many fucking kicks he missed and how many opportunities he stayed here. So there's something to be said for what Aldo's saying is, okay, a guy's going to miss. We can't play this in and out, in and out, in and out. You can't talk on a podium about a culture and be you and do this. But they're not going to fuck it. If they're going to cater to the crowd, Shayne.
Don't forget, though, Phil. Nagy can get up there and say that he's got the utmost confidence in Eddie Pinheiro, and that's exactly what he should say. Ryan Pace can say it. And a couple of weeks ago, they tried to fucking flip a 5th rounder for Corey Vedvik.
But they didn't.
No, they didn't, because Minnesota, took off the restrictions off of the pick. But like I said, is he going to be here all year long? I can't say that my confidence is there. I love the kid's enthusiasm. I think he's got a monster leg. Is he going to be consistent enough in an inconsistent environment? I don't think so. I'm going to say over.
Hey, I played this soundbite on Buffon 55 yesterday, and I'll play it here because it's going to help this discussion here. This is Matt Nagy talking about the pressure that Eddie Pinheiro faces.
We want to think of the glass half full. He's going to come out here and make every kick. And then if he does miss a kick or does miss an extra point, for instance, last year when we had those missed field goals, there were several of them in the game. I think it was the Detroit game. At some point as a coach, you have to, from what we went through, you have to decide, okay, is it time to go for 2 or is it time to go for it on 4th down? That's a juggling act that we're going to, until he proves himself in real live bullets, we won't know that. And I'm just hoping that he's that guy that comes out and has a great year.
Okay, so based on what he just said there, I'm going to change mine to over.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not betting anything now. I'm going home.
You are home.
Oh, that's right. I don't know, Brett. What's your feeling on this whole thing?
You know, I think that would be the ultimate cherry on top of a great season if Pinheiro just silenced the narrative and just, drilled, 7 or 8, 50 plus, was clutch, hit 90% of his field goals. And, I mean, to your point, Aldo, I think the guy's got a great leg for Soldier Field. He can cut through the wind. I think you said at one time you were at Soldier Field or not Soldier Field, but you were at spring training, and just the thump.
Right.
The sound makes when he kicks it. So, and he's got the right attitude. He's practicing at Soldier Field, which we were begging, Parkey to do, and he never wanted to because traffic was so bad.
I feel like this is Brett's build-up to say that he's still going over.
Yeah, I know. No, I gotta say under. I think, like Phil said, I think they're going to give him now that once the season starts. They're not going to have a quick chain. I think they're really going to give him as much rope to hang himself, as they can. Now, you're right, Shayne. I mean, if he goes out and just blows 3 games in a row, or over the course of a 6-7 game stretch, you got to look elsewhere. But I don't think Pinheiro is going to be that erratic. I think he's going to prove himself. So I'm going to go under.
I'm going under too. I know I've been kidding around, but I believe in Pinheiro. I like Matt. There was a lot more to Matt Nagy's soundbite than I just played, and a lot of it had to do with him vowing to have patience with Pinheiro, and so that if Eddie goes out there and misses a kick or 2 early in the season and they're disappointing kicks, it doesn't automatically mean that he's gone from the team. Let's remember that. Last year, he had a hell of a lot of patience with Cody Parkey when, from the very beginning, Shayne Marsaw was saying, "Don't do it, don't have patience with this guy," and Shayne was right, and Nagy was wrong. But I feel like he's going to extend that patience to Pinheiro, and it's going to pay off.
Yeah, I'm floating on the silent all by myself, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna stay in the under with Meili.
I hope Riley never grows up to be a kicker, Shayne.
I do. I'm happy with Eddie. I just gotta, like I said, his biggest flaw right now is his consistency, and you're bringing him into such an inconsistent environment. I'm not sure if that stuff blends well, but we'll see. I mean, there's not going to be a bigger supporter than me, and I'm sure we're going to do our predictions for the game, and I'll have a little surprise on that too. I think for everybody that it will involve a kicker.
Cool. All right, Brett. What else you got?
All right, we got one last one here that I think is kind of fun, and then I know, Aldo, you had a prop or two you wanted to propose, but this one, actually, I read it online. I can't remember where, but I thought it was a good one. So, will the Bears have twice as many sacks on defense versus division QBs as touchdowns thrown against them by those division QBs? Yes or no? And just so you know, last year we sacked the other quarterbacks in the division 21 times versus 8 touchdowns thrown.
Oh.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's nice.
I think it's better stats than that. I think it's going to be better.
I would agree with
22 sacks last year by our defense.
21 sacks,
21
8 touchdowns against us.
Yeah.
And 8 thrown.
Yeah, because I don't see.
And
many.
you're asking if we'll have twice as many this year?
Yeah, will the Bears have twice as many sacks on defense versus those QBs as opposed to touchdowns thrown against them?
Yeah, so twice. So if they throw for 8 touchdowns, we got to have at least 16 sacks.
We got to have at least 16.
Okay.
Right?
Claudio, good at math. I'm writing that down too.
He's a barber. He is. He's got to count that money.
That's right.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I believe in this defense and everybody on it. And I believe in our defensive coordinator to stay aggressive.
A relationship in text.
Welcome, Fantasy Island.
I'm with Shayne.
I'm with Shayne.
This is an easy one.
Yeah, definitely.
After the complexity of the math, it becomes very easy.
That's right.
So we're all yes on that?
Oh, yeah.
We're all yes men here.
Yeah. Oh, you're all bare ball washers over there.
All right. Well,
Very good.
Are we done here? I'm going to go on to
I
my.
think that's it on my end.
Okay, so just real quickly, James is still texting me, and now he's claiming that Tony Romo is one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
My God. This dude is just looking for a fight.
Yes.
He's just.
He said
James, I mean, if you look real close at your computer screen, nobody fucking cares.
He sent me a graphic with the highest career passing rating in NFL history. It's Aaron Rodgers at 104, Tom Brady at 97, and Tony Romo at 97.1.
Yeah, well.
Okay, what about tell him to look up playoff wins?
Well, I sent them a picture of somebody choking, and I said, "Well, this is Tony Romo."
After this
is
year,
making me depressed.
I'm sorry, but after this year, I think he's going to want Romo back because I think Prescott's going to have not a great year.
Interesting.
2 big contracts.
Well, so here's my bet. I said this today on the Mike North show. Every time a running back, not every time, but it just seems to me that every time a running back holds out during preseason, they come back and they get injured early on. Yep. And so, I hate to bet on somebody getting injured, but this is all fun and games. We're just kind of laughing along here. So I got the over-under of Ezekiel getting injured by week 6. And so I want to go around the table and let me know. And this is an injury where he's out at least 1 game. So, Brett, I'm going to start with you.
I'll say under. I know what you're saying. You're right. It does seem like there's an inordinate amount of time where the guy comes back after a long layoff and for whatever reason is injury prone. But I think, and James will be happy for me to say this, I think Zeke will be healthy and survive the season unscathed.
James does seem to like you out of all everybody that's here.
Hold on.
He's a fucking idiot.
Mom, stop. We'll go to Claudio. What do you think?
So over under again. Too many beers. Over under. Go ahead.
Ezekiel Elliott. Getting injured over under 6 games.
Okay, so he's saying he's going to get hurt under 6 games. That's what he just said.
No. Brett is saying
he's going to survive the season. So I'll take
yeah, I agree with Brett. I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to, I think he's going to have a good year. He's going to be healthy. So
excellent.
Definitely.
I hope that you don't. You're a professional barber. I hope you don't cut hair while you're had a couple
No,
of
I
beers.
don't. Actually, I'm on vacation, so that's why I'm drinking right now. I don't actually ever drink at home, so if it's not noticeable. So.
Good man.
Unequivocally, no.
Phil, you betting on Zeke getting injured?
I think I'm going to go with you, Aldo, and say there's a tendency and a pattern here.
Yeah,
this
there
kid
is.
is also a little, for lack of a PC term, I'll say quirky. Okay,
He is.
He's very.
He's
off.
always getting in trouble. I mean,
and I'm going on injury still. I'm just saying his work ethic. How did he handle his time away and his selfishness? And he wants a new. He gets what he wants, and if you get what you want, sometimes you don't work. And he's an amazing talent, but I see this happen so many times. So his off-season work will depend. If he's injured, you'll know that he, slacked. So I'm going with you, Aldo.
Well, and I think he's probably in really good shape, but there's still something
Football
about yeah, exactly. You can work out all you want at home, but it's different when you miss camp.
Oh yeah.
Shane, what do you think?
He's gonna get injured during the Saints game.
Which
it's gonna
is
be a fifth metatarsal fucking break or something shit like that. Sorry, James.
He's going specific.
So that's week 4, September 29th.
Okay.
In New Orleans.
Excellent. I like the detail.
Holy shit, you got details.
Yeah.
I agree with Shane. It's going to be early and often. He's going to have a really injury-riddled season. And those of you who picked him in fantasy over David Montgomery are in for a hell of a season. And James is fighting back, saying, "Look at his stats: best production of all running backs in the first 3 years, and he missed only 6 games." James is fighting to the end.
When is James's bedtime?
Brett, James is a freelance director, and I think he doesn't have a job right now. So he's going to be up for a while. Brett, this has been a lot of fun. Please tell people where they can find you on Twitter, and tell us anything else that you want to plug about your art appraising work, your TV show. Go for it.
Well, guys, first of all, thanks for having me. It's been a blast as always. I love talking Bears football with you guys. It doesn't get any better, and this is the best time of the year, so I'm stoked. And anybody on the bar room, come over. You can find me. I'm not real active on Twitter, but my handle is at Barren Desert, and I do post some art stuff and bear-related rants every now and again. And we have a pretty neat art gallery here in Las Vegas. It's called Art Encounter, and you can find it at artencounter.com. And you can find me on the History Channel every now and again on Pawn Stars. They have me come in, and I'll get with you guys. And next time they give me a call, we'll figure out what I'm going to do to pimp you guys, because I really love the show and I love you guys, and would do anything for you. So
thank you very much, Brett.
You're the best.
And Brett, this has to be a really good time to be an art appraiser. I would just seem that with the way the economy is going, there's just a lot of purchase of artwork. Am I right there?
Well, yeah. There's some uncertainty too, which kind of generates people wanting to know what they have. So people are digging through their closets and their garages, and they're trying to figure out if they've got a diamond in the rough or if it's just rough. So I get a lot of people coming to me with rare finds, and it's fun. It really is. And Vegas is probably the best town for art. You don't think of it as an art mecca, but there's just so many people here from all walks of life, and it's like Pawn Stars. They kind of captured lightning in a bottle, because people come here, from all over the world to gamble, and they get in trouble, and next thing you know, they're pawning things or selling things.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's been a great experience, and any barfly or anybody that wants to come by and see the gallery and get a little nickel tour, and I tried to put together something for Joey down there at the pawn shop, but unfortunately he didn't give me enough heads up. We'll try to make something like that happen.
Joey.
Hey, Brett, I got to ask you real quick before you go. You answered this for all of us before. What painting would James be?
Oh my gosh, yeah, something abstract for sure. Now he'd be a drip painting. One of the Jackson Pollock.
There you go.
You don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, just playing.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I do have a quick question for you guys, all right? And because quite honestly, I've asked about a dozen people, and nobody's ever told me a good answer. But I just recovered 2 weeks ago from hernia surgery, okay? And I'm playing tennis this Sunday. So I'm trying to figure out what the difference is between a garden variety road grade hernia, which I had, and this sports hernia thing that that Trey Burton has.
I have no fucking idea.
Well, Phil, I don't even know if you still have that or not. We were talking, Phil, Dan, and I were going back and forth pretty hardcore on this. I looked it up. Where was your hernia, Brett?
It was inguinal. It was fairly low abdomen.
Goddamn, this is making me depressed.
kind of groin-ish area, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously not to the extent of what Trey did.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is like with it in the groin area that it can. I mean,
groin.
I guess Art Appraiser and a NFL tight end aren't doing the same workout regimen, believe it or not. But I guess that would be I don't know. I mean,
how was Joe working his groin in Vegas on his?
Yeah.
He didn't show up to porn stars, none of them.
He showed up.
No, he actually texted me from the shop.
Yeah,
and I was going to give me like
there.
a heads up.
Oh, he didn't pull the old fucking give you the heads up, the 2-day.
No, I didn't give me a heads up, so I told him to ask for a couple of people, and unfortunately, it was I think it was either a Friday or a Saturday going into Labor Day weekend, and everybody was gone. So, yeah, it didn't work out. But when we get you guys out here for the draft or whenever you guys want to come out, we'll definitely make it happen.
Excellent.
You're the best.
Well, you guys are great, and again, anytime you want to talk Vegas bets or Bears, you know where to find me.
All right, Brett. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brett.
We'll be looking for you in the next.
Hey, nice meeting you, Claudio. You guys have a great night, and go Bears and kick the crap out of the Packers.
You got it.
Let's go, Brett.
Brett, what's your prediction for tomorrow night?
Yeah. Let's get a prediction.
Prediction.
Yeah, I definitely am going with the Bears. I really wanted to do, Shayne, what you said. I think it was a week or two ago. You said the Packers are kind of on a precipice, and the Bears could push them off. And I do believe the Packers are on a precipice, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to, be his usual self against the Bears. He's not going to let it happen in the Bears game. In a couple weeks, they play the Broncos and the Lions, and they might go off the precipice in that game. But I think it's going to be a close one. I think Aaron Rodgers, by sheer will, keeps it close, and I say Bears 24-17.
Wow.
Nice.
24-17. That was the score of the champion Chicago Kings of the North, mind you. Last year.
Was that the score of the game?
Yes, it was. 24-17.
I think there's a repeat in order, and it'll be a little closer than I think we'd all like, but I think the Bears put their foot on the throat as opposed to last year and finish the deal. So
there you go.
All right, Brett. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon, guys.
All righty.
Brett Meili.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Straight.
It's cool. He takes the time out to do that. It's cool.
Do what? He's fucking coming on our show.
I know.
Fucking should be honored.
I'm saying he's a good. Oh, he should be honored. All right, I'm honored. Wait, listen. I'm honored. I just want to say this. I'm so honored. I do want to say this. I'm honored for you guys letting me do this with you guys. It's so much fun.
You missed by a week, bro. We got Rex Grossman coming up.
Oh my god.
You say another word, Claudio, and you're off the show.
I'm doing good. I'm happy.
You can edit that out, right? We're not live, are we?
No, we're live.
I know we are.
We love you, Claudio. Thank you for coming on the show and going to Bears Packers 100th year. Suffering through all this.
All right, let's turn our attention now to predictions of the game, and then let's close the doors to this bar room. I know we didn't get through to talk about everything we wanted to regarding the game, but we've got a show tomorrow. Shayne, you're going to make tomorrow's show, are you? Right? Please tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
Please.
I'm going to be wired. Yeah, I'll make. I'll make at least some of it.
All right, because we're starting tomorrow's show, the debut of Last Call with Draft Dr. Phil and myself, and sometimes with Shayne, and Matt Carsonson is going to be on the show. And I'm anticipating that because Phil is going to be at the game, that it's going to take him a while to get to the hotel.
Dumbass. Did I tell you the story?
No.
Phil, he goes, yeah, bro,
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna do a nice little jog. Like 2.5 miles. So
it's 1.4
Yeah, he
miles.
said that to me too. He's like, I know
Chris
That's what it was.
Sandlin.
Yeah, 1.5. He goes, yeah, nice little jog.
I say no
1.5
fucking
miles.
nice
I'll
little.
be there. Nice little jog. 12 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, he'll be on for the closing shout-outs. That's what. But I anticipate that it'll take at least 45 minutes to an hour for Phil to get settled in and to call in and to give us firsthand opinion and analysis of the game. And so, but don't worry, everybody. We got the smartest man. He's just agreed to come on. We've got Matt Carsonson, and then they might argue about the Dodgers a little bit during that time. I hope not. I'll try to avoid that. And then we'll bring Phil in when he's nice and comfortable, and we're going to have a great show, and we're going to talk a lot of Bears football, and that show is definitely going to go long. In fact, I anticipate that it'll probably go about 3 hours, and but Shayne will only be on for the first 90 minutes or so because.
I'll be signing off when I'm driving into work.
There you go. So what I'd like to do now is just kind of go around the table and talk, pick up where Brett left off and talk about our anticipation for the game with predictions and just kind of paint a scenario as to, because here's what I do when I go to bed. I fantasize about what the game is going to look like. I put stats up in my mind. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's play out these scenarios right now. And let me start. Since you want to start,
it's up to you. You're the Emmy Award winner.
Oh,
I like to hear some of the stories. And
James just texted, if you're really an Emmy Award winner, you would cancel this show. Fuck you, James.
James.
Let's start with you, Phil.
Okay.
Give us a picture of what you're seeing.
This is
tomorrow.
what I see. There is a culture change with this head coach. It all starts with the Holy Trinity. I'm stealing from my uncle, and the quarterback, the GM, and the head coach. I think you see this team, this culture change right before your eyes, before Khalil Mack. And Khalil Mack is like, I don't know, the devil came down from Georgia and gave you the absolute perfect remedy for pass rush. He is the best in the business. And if you add that to a full offseason, building a culture that Nagy started. So basically, it's like an Italian grandfather tilling the garden and planting the seeds, and then someone with some serious understanding of, plantation comes in and gives the old man a little nudge. That's Khalil Mack. He's taken what Nagy's built, and he's built on top of that. Okay, I get paid, but I fucking work harder than everybody here. And if you aren't going to work as hard as I am, then I don't fucking think you belong here.
Yes.
And that kind of culture is rising into what Moon Mullen was saying. I have some friends in the business, and all of them told me before I heard the Moon Mullen quote from Shayne that this team is fucking hyper focused, confident, not cocky, angry, upset, and can't wait to unveil themselves. I believe that. I hate how it ended, but I love new beginnings. So in those kind of analogies with the old grandfather and the garden and everything going together, I think Ryan Pace and company have built on this, that you can... Bilal Nichols, for example, somebody I love that is a huge piece. But you can now put Roy Robertson Harris, and you don't lose a step if Nichols can't. Where in the past you're going down to the next guy who might not even make another team. And you're playing from behind. Here, you're playing with fucking weighted dice. And I think everybody's sleeping on the offense. I know what I know about quarterbacks. And I will stand toe-to-toe with anybody in this business to actually sit down and break down tape. Mitch Trubisky, not only did he improve from year 1 to year 2, he improved from year 2 to the end of year 2 immensely. And I think when you take an athlete that's focused and is exactly step for step with his coach at quarterback, you're about to unveil something different that we haven't seen in Chicago, and that's a unity, a team with a culture that they believe in, that'll go out there and exorcise the demons. We said it that day. I was there witnessing it. It was for the division. The Packers still had hope. It was a close game, and to Brett's point, Aaron will keep you in games because he's so talented. No doubt. Tomorrow, Khalil Mack stomps out Aaron Rodgers. The Bears, as a team, join in Khalil Mack and believe. He's always talking about be you, believe, we believe in monsters. Let's believe in the culture that I built. Let's believe in what Khalil Mack is bringing to the table, and let's believe in the plan and the philosophy that Pagano's bringing. And I think you guys are all going to be fucking celebrating before I can get on the fucking air and rant about how happy I am about what I witnessed, because that's where I really feel so confident in the better team is going to win opening night.
That brought a tear to my eye. Good,
what's the
man.
score, though? What's the score?
The score, it's going to be 35-14. I said it in the summertime to begin. I think the Bears are going to fucking pound them, and it's not going to be a close thing. It's going to be a late touchdown to make it 14. It's a big-time moment in a total baton pass championship. I'm putting my name on the line because this is what the tape tells me. You traded Mike Daniels away, your best defensive lineman. You let him go. And what are you replacing him with? With young Kenny Clark and company? I don't see what their plan culturally is over there. And if you let your quarterback run out a good coach to replace him with a young coach who, by the way, they're almost imitating what it is you're building here in Chicago. Get a young guy and Aaron Rodgers with his porn stash is like, fuck this fucking guy. I could fucking audible. And you got an issue there. And once Khalil Mack shows himself to the leader and the team rises up, and I think Buster Screen, a name Brett called out, is a guy I've been talking about. Shayne has been talking. You guys all know. I believe it. He's a guy, a wild card piece. He's a fucking no nonsense. He could give two fucks about Aaron Rodgers, and these guys are going to be a band of bullies, and they're going to set the tone. That's why you kick. And I believe it doesn't say anything bad about Mitch. It just says, this is who we are, this is what we believe in, and we're going to get it done.
Yeah, so, I mean, okay, I got to follow that. So I'll just keep it short and sweet. And I'm actually going to agree with Brett, and I actually was thinking 24-17 also. Wow. Big win for the Bears. And I think, it'll be close, obviously. I think Aaron Rodgers might be able to keep it close because he does look stupid with that mustache, but he is still, still a good quarterback. So, but we will win, no doubt. No doubt.
Shayne?
Look at Shayne.
All right, I'm going to go off kilter a little bit here.
We're all waiting.
So,
surprise,
motherfucker. Do we ever have a show where especially in season, where I don't say typical Chicago Bears, true to Chicago Bears form? Bears are going to win. And you guys and nobody should be surprised by this. The playoff game came down to a kicker. And this is going to come down to a kicker. Because that's just the way that it works. It's just the way that it works.
Pinheiro?
That's the Chicago Bear. It's been the story all off season.
Say his name. It's
gonna play out. I'm not bringing up his name. I'm not doing it. But it's gonna come down. Number 15 is gonna kick a 43-yard field goal.
You're even going 43.
43-yard field goal, and the Bears are going to win 24-21 on an Eddie Pinheiro 43-yard field goal. It's been an off-season of hype about the kickers. It's been an off-season of hype about the kickers, and there's no other way that it will play out in Chicago. The pressure's going to be on from Jump Street, and Eddie's got to step up, and he's gonna put it through the uprights in game one, and he's gonna knock the former Kings of the North, the team that is descending. He's gonna send them home with an L.
Nice.
Yeah. If he hits that, that's a pretty pressure shot. So won't have to worry about him too much for the rest of the year if he hits
Aldo will go out and buy a Pinheiro jersey.
I'm going to buy a piñata and name it Pinheiro, and if anybody touches it, I will.
I'll put myself out there. If it plays out that way and Eddie kicks a game-winning field goal, we'll come up with something
to win it,
and I'll buy a custom Pinheiro jersey that we can do something here at the bar room.
The traveling
somebody
Pinheiro
can win
jersey?
it.
I love it.
Every game, a barfly has to wear the Pinheiro jersey.
Yes,
The traveling Pinheiro jersey.
There you go.
All right, here's the way I envision what is going to happen Thursday night at Soldier Field on prime time. First drive, the Bears are going to look tremendous, but unfortunately, the drive is going to falter inside the red zone, and Pinheiro will pick up the 3 points. The defense comes out to face Rodgers. They will sack him, create a turnover. The Bears again will get the ball inside Packer territory, but the drive falters, and Pinheiro kicks another field goal. It is 6-0. There's frustration going on with the offense now. Oh, damn it, shit. Defense comes out to face Rodgers. They knock him out of the fucking game. He's gone.
Oh, man.
Broken collarbone?
For the whole game, please.
The whole game. The only thing left of Aaron Rodgers is his porn stash on the 40-yard line. There's a mustache. It looks like a piece of shit, but it's really Aaron Rodgers' mustache. The offense now goes out there and they say, come on, guys. No more fucking around. Boom, bam, boom. They start scoring touchdowns. At halftime, the Bears are up 31-3.
Nice.
And then in the second half, fucking Aaron Rodgers comes back. And they mount a comeback. But this time, the Bears hold them off because Kyle Fuller holds on to the interception, and the Bears
I just had this
win.
conversation with my dad earlier about that fucking interception.
What'd you say?
I just had that conversation with my dad earlier about the game last year, and Fuller dropping that fucking interception. Yeah, we just 4 hours ago we were talking about it. I'm like, I still can't believe he dropped that motherfucker.
You know, I was somebody mentioned it today on one of the podcasts I was listening to, and it just brought back a terrible memory. Yeah, it was Dan. That's right. It just brought back that terrible memory, and why? You know, it's like everything that goes wrong in life was rekindled by that fucking thing.
Are you guys really going to be surprised if it comes down to the kicker tomorrow night?
Mm-mm. Will I be surprised?
No, I won't be surprised.
Chicago,
but I don't think it's going to happen. I won't be surprised.
I think this team is going to dominate tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
And I just feel like the Bears are going to kick some ass, but the Packers are going to make it close with some meaningless garbage points, and we're going to do okay. James Kessler just texted me again saying, fuck you, you're full of shit, and so forth.
Oh, now he's swearing.
Oh, yeah, James could swear.
Really?
Yeah. His minutes are past 11 o'clock. It's past.
I guess it's okay now.
All right. Let me stop my little broadcast. I was actually broadcasting live on Twitter at the same time that we're doing a live show on Mixler.
We should be doing this.
Yeah.
A double live.
Double live. Maybe we should do. Everybody wants us to do video.
I know.
For 100 proof to put to YouTube at least. Can we do it?
Now that I've lost 20 pounds, I'm ready. I wasn't going to do it with fat Aldo. No fucking way.
Now he's back. Look at him.
All right. Anything else we guys want to talk about before we hang it up for tonight? What's going on?
How does James feel about the Eagles going to run away with the division?
No, Giants. Giants will win that division.
Oh, you're going Giants?
Yes. Daniel, the rookie quarterback, will come in by week 5, and they will win that division. I'm telling you. That's my prediction.
Big boy Barber.
I'll probably be wrong, but it's all right.
Claudio been sniffing that perm substance stuff.
No perms.
Big perm. Big perm.
Big worm.
Big perm.
Big worm.
James just texted me and says, "Please tell them that I did not swear. You made that up." And I did. I did make that up. But he says that he can't wait to he wants to come in and do the show. He thinks that we all do this from my basement, but he's saying that can't wait to sit next to these deodorant repellent apes.
Wow, James got all personal.
He's got personal.
Tell James I said he's lucky his mother's basement has Wi-Fi.
Oh, there it is, Mr. Guest. I better not say his last name.
Almost said it.
Well, I think this is the first time that James has listened to Bears 100 Proof, and so I will tell James, like I tell all of our new listeners, that this is the part of the show where we give out shout-outs. We shout out relatives, friends, celebrities, people we've met on the street. We don't know who the fuck we're going to shout out, but we know one thing. Draft Dr. Phil is going to shout out at least 50, 60 people. And go for it, Phil.
Well, let me start out by thanking and shouting out my wife for just, this all came together out of a whim for Claudio. Talking.
Her name is Steph, Phil.
Yes. Stephanie Atoshin, yes. Shouting her out. She's sleeping. But I wanted her to know I appreciate, I'm having a blast here. You're working. I'm chilling here. And I'm having so much fun. I want to thank Claudio for, going with me and having a blast and going around in this historic stuff. And Aldo, Jim Larison, the Sandlins, all for making this trip to Chicago. I mean, this Walter Payton statue alone, it could be open with the fucking Bills. That shit would be, but it's the 100th year with the Pack. It's like a fucking Super Bowl has hit this town. Mm-hmm. It's it's fucking electric. Claudio, you said the same thing.
I've been to 2 Super Bowls, and this is definitely a Super Bowl feel in here. I mean, obviously because of the 100th season and this and that, but there's definitely something in the air.
If you don't have tickets, try to get downtown to that park and feel it and support this fucking team. Start yelling at fuckers on the street. Let's go Bears. Get them ready for tomorrow night. You gotta be loud. You gotta support this team. And lastly, but not least, Funk's Barbershop today. Michael Carbone, our boy over there, he's the operations manager. It's over there on 429 Dearborn Street, Chi-Town, Illinois. You guys are great. And the guy, Chewy Aguirre, any relation to Dan Aguirre? That's what I want to know. Cut my hair today. You guys were great down there in Lawrence. I thank you too for inviting us in there. I know Claudio, I'm stealing his fucking shout out, but I wanted to make sure those guys, give them a shout out. Now they're learning about Bears Barroom. They didn't know. So they're going to make sure, Charles Leno and Mitch Trubisky, fucking Cutler knows about Bears 100 Proof and Claudio's hate for him. Anyway, but guys, Barflies, if you see us tomorrow, let's take some pictures. Let's cheer on the Bears. Let's take home this victory. And I can't wait to talk about everything tomorrow night on the debut of Last Call on the Bears.
I can't wait either. I am anxiously awaiting that time where we're going to debut a post-game show that will be unlike any other.
Absolutely.
Claudio, I want you to do some shout-outs.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, definitely going to shout out. I got to, shout out my wife, too, and kids, but, I mean, they're probably really happy that I'm not even home. I mean, I don't think they care. But definitely going to shout out, Phil, obviously. We thought this would never happen, and things came together, and it's awesome. So we're here. Aldo, obviously, this is awesome.
Picking us up for the airport.
Oh my God, all this stuff, and then everybody else with this show. And again, like I said, I appreciate you even letting me on here. This has been so fun. And, also, and then obviously, me and Phil got to shout out Sammy for getting us here.
Oh, Sammy.
The Uber driver.
Sammy, the freaking
Sammy, who did not want us. I tried so hard. I said, dude, we will tip you so hard if you just say, because he was an Indian guy. Okay?
Right.
I'm like, say, fuck the Packers. so Phil could record it and play it on the show, and he didn't do it. So we say, fuck the Packers.
He pulled the James. He didn't want to swear.
Sammy got us here safe.
But Sammy loved, by the end of the ride here, fucking Sammy and Claudio, I thought they were fucking dating. I'm in the back pulling audio.
He was staring at me a little too long. He wasn't staring at me a little too long.
He enjoyed his ride. I was like, fuck, I wish I wasn't pulling audio, because this was like a fucking episode that you could just air another podcast with Sammy the Uber driver. He was a diamond driver, Aldo.
Diamond, huh?
Diamond. He had diamond level.
Not that you need to know about, like, when shit started, per se. Because I was fucking her in, like, November, but...
My God. Shayne, who do you want to shout out?
It's no one person in particular tonight, but this is what we've been waiting for. Back when they drafted Mitch, the inexperienced kid from North Carolina coming in with a shitty head coach and shitty offensive coordinator. They bring in the offensive guru, and it's not about learning and biding your time now. This tomorrow night is the beginning of the championship run that we've all been waiting for, been striving for, and it's not going to be this season. You got a great defense that can carry you, but a lot of this season has to be 10 has to go out and be the fucking guy that can lead us. When we're down, when the defense gives up a big score, when they fucking blitz and they get burnt, Mitch is like, all right, let's go get it back. He's got to be that fucking guy. He's got to be the guy that they traded up to number 2 overall for, that Ryan Pace and everybody in the scouting staff believed in. This is our time. This is Matt Nagy's time. But most importantly, the most important player on the fucking field for the Bears, number 10, this is his time. This is going to shape our future here, really, at Bears Barroom, with what we're going to talk about. The Chicago Bears franchise, Mitch's financial future. It all starts tomorrow night. And I can't think of a better fucking spot to be in. It's bright lights, big city. Phil's going to be there and enjoying it. I can't wait to see how this all unfolds, but I can't think of anything better. And for it to happen against Green Bay on national TV, 100-year anniversary, it's the perfect kickoff to when we end up in Miami in February.
Very well said. Very poetic, Shayne. Very nicely put together. I want to shout out my buddy James, but why should I do it over the podcast? Why don't I just do it directly? James Kessel, are you there?
We don't have turkey.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I got these guys.
Here he is. Holy
First of all, the first guy who was speaking, like, dude, like, seriously, it sounded like my 5-year-old trying to read a fucking book. Like, what did you have to say? Nothing. It sounded like a drowned out person trying to die in a fucking river. Oh my God. Like,
swearing, the swears. The
swears. Your thoughts were compressed.
I can't believe
they were
you.
Disgusting. You're an animal. I don't want to hear you. The guy in the middle was cool, Aldo. I will say that. The guy in the middle, he was good. And the last guy, again, it was like
the guy
I
in
felt
the middle.
like I was trying to read with my kid at night. Like, who are these people that you're bringing in to this podcast? They're animals, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
You filthy animal. Thank you, James. We will go back to airing Roger Staubach highlights on our other network.
And not to mention the fact that whoever said that, like Rogers, really? Like the guy, you guys will win tomorrow. You're going to win big. I'll give you guys that. You guys have a good team.
So we agree.
But I mean, the rip on the Cowboys, come on, dude. On December 4th or 5th when we play you guys, it's gonna be a disaster. It is.
For Cowboys, yeah, I agree with you, man.
Is this Tooch?
Hey,
no, not at all.
Can I take a wild guess? Are you a Trump supporter? Oh, did I hit that on the head?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
No turds. No
Not at all. I like this show. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I don't go politics. That's all.
Oh, it was just a joke. It was just a joke, buddy. It was just
fine.
It was just a joke.
This is
so weird. Person? I've never
This
met.
is a real person.
I always thought the fans
speak slower, please. Go on.
Oh my God!
I was trying to be nice, but I thought all the fucking sucker blowhard fans were from Philadelphia. I didn't know James. I didn't know they were in Dallas too, James. That's what I was gonna say.
Fucking James.
James coming out strong. James, what have you been drinking tonight?
Dick.
Yes.
Did you say dick?
Yeah, he's mixing his drinks with dick.
All right,
I'm
cool.
just trying to
Keep it coming. Keep it rolling, bud.
Great comeback.
Fucking James.
I'm asking you to keep it going. If it wasn't a comeback, I'm waiting for you to say something funny.
James.
Let's all guess what James does for a living. Let's all.
James is fired up. He's a fired up construction worker.
Hey,
prop bet. The prop bet.
Greg Braggs in the chat room says, "Wow, this show took a turn."
How the fuck? Where
it
did
always
James...
does, Aldo, for sure. Yeah.
James' first night listening to the show. Apparently, he's become a producer, a fucking writer. He's fucking singing, whistling
so, James,
Dixie.
You're not a fan of the show. Is that safe to say?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I love the show. I thought you guys were great.
Turned it all the way around. He came back.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But you had a problem with 2 of the 3 calls and our guests.
Yeah, like I said. Well, no, I mean, just when I heard the wrap up, it was kind of like, they labored through their comments. That's all. It was like trying to find a thought out there. It was like trying to catch a firefly or something with these guys. Like, it wasn't going to happen. The middle guy was good. I liked him.
The middle guy. Is that Claudio? Is that who you're referring to?
No.
I have no idea.
Let's play voices. I don't know. I thought I hit it out of the park for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Draft Dr. Phil who was the middle guy. Was it Draft Dr. Phil?
Could have been, but he was very concise, and yeah, it was good.
Oh, okay.
That's Phil.
Okay, you're good now, James. We're good. Go down to Funk's, get your haircut, James.
So, James, since you're such a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, do you promise to come here into the bar room, the actual studio, and co-host Bears 100 Proof
that night?
That night, yeah. Come on, last call.
Yeah, it's a primetime game.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm good. America's team's always going to show up. We're good.
Especially when the weather's cold, they're always there.
So James,
it makes no sense. What does that mean?
Well, it's probably hard for you to figure out. I'll slow it down for you here. When it's cold out, the Cowboys fucking suck.
They do have a history.
So that's such a random comment like that. You have nothing to base that on other than you're trying to be funny.
Well, it gets cold when the playoffs are on in January. That's what he's saying. When it's cold in January,
they suck. Cowboys won in cold weather.
More Super Bowls than your fucking Bears, so I guess.
We got more NFL championships.
Oh my God! How old are you, man? Come on.
How old am I?
Yeah.
43.
13.
No, for real.
43.
How old are you?
38.
What are you?
Because I want to know how many of those championships have you actually witnessed?
He's trying to
I'm trying to understand, like, where are you getting the
point, James.
You know, it's just like Yankee fans who talk about 27 champions. If you weren't alive, you don't inherit them like your fucking dad's watch. All right. So,
although this is hilarious. Like, it's like if you weren't alive, yeah. Well, trust me, I was alive in '92, '93, and '96, so I was good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
He's got
all right.
3.
Great, good for you.
Yeah.
That's great. You can count. That's great too. Awesome.
Claudio got fired up.
Man, this is good.
Aldo's gonna want to bring Claudio back.
Dude, because I labored through the shit just like you guys are going to, and you're going to be disappointed this year because your team is going to be like 10-6, I think, and then you're going to lose to us in the playoffs. So we're good.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
So you feel confident that
I
do.
I like you guys like winning this week. I think you guys will win the division. I really do.
You think
But
do
we'll
you
see
think
what
that Dallas will win the division over Philly?
Dude, it's a tough call. I'll be honest with you.
I mean,
At least he's honest. At least he's honest. I'm starting to like James.
When you question James, truth
I
comes
can't say
out.
that for sure, just because, like, yeah, goddamn, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you believe head coach James?
Keep hearing.
But I mean,
Tooch.
I'm not
I
like
don't know
drinking
why.
the Kool-Aid like you guys do with the Bears this year. Like, you guys all think that you guys are going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, you know, feel like you never know what's going to happen. But dude, there's been so many disappointing seasons with them, and when they get to the playoffs, like last year and the year when the Packers freaking beat them and Dak brought them back and all that stuff, yeah, it's tough to watch. It is.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I know. I got all sincere, right? Yeah.
I think James has multiple personalities.
Which James is this?
He was emotional James. Yeah.
We got. Tooch wanted me to see this movie, Split. Is that it? Split.
The Beast.
James.
Yeah,
is
no,
Split.
it's true. It's Split. Yeah, that's when I fuck a girl and fuck a guy in the same night.
Oh,
Jesus. Sorry,
Wait. Now that we got you on the phone, what was up with the swearing thing? You texted saying you don't want to swear, and now you're swearing up a fucking storm.
You guys said it like 17,000 times.
That's what 100 proof is, man.
This is the first time he's heard 100
I can't
proof.
wait to hang out with you guys. It's going to be fun.
Now you're having fun.
I'm a huge motherfucking bar.
I've been having fun all night. What are you talking about?
Okay. I don't know. You just came in.
Tell your friends. Wow.
Hey, James. So you were texting me about how great of a quarterback Tony Romo is, right?
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. I want you to hear something.
15-yard field goal attempt. Oh, this fumble!
You son of a bitch. That is not fair. You know what?
Oh, man.
Just drown
It
James
still
out with
happened. No matter how many times you watch it, he still drops it.
Mike Holmgren is smiling right now.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, he's a great announcer, though. I will give him that.
Yeah.
I love him as
He is a great announcer.
He's the best.
He is.
He's a great quarterback, too, guys. Come on.
But let me tell you something
He was
about
good.
Tony
He was
Romo's
okay.
announcing.
I literally liked him.
Oh man,
I really liked Romo.
You have to admit, he was pretty solid for the Cowboys. He was.
No,
he was solid.
I mean,
but
that was bad. I don't, I'm not going to, that was awful. That
One
was,
play.
horrific night on Saturday night for the playoffs against the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, it was bad.
God, I would have died if I was a fucking fan of the Cowboys that night.
Well, you should have died after you got AIDS from your fucking boyfriend's asshole. But you know what?
Oh my, dude!
But thank
I
God.
swear to
Where did
God.
he go?
Listen,
Where does he
He
go?
is
He's
definitely
split.
split.
Holy fuck! Can we get his own show? We'll just call it Split.
no, I asked him. I asked him if he would, because he's really big into fantasy football. He should be a part of the fantasy football Goon show.
You think the Goon show would go up a few notches with this guy? He'd be calling Tooch a fucking Iowan asshole. Why the fuck did you move to Iowa?
Joe, I can't believe you caught AIDS from that lot lizard down the street. Fucking Joe's gonna. Holy smokes!
Holy smokes! I can't believe he's talking to me like this.
Look at this
Well,
orange
I'm sorry,
paint
dude.
blogger.
But I have to go there, So, I mean, it is what it is. But that was a
You
very
have
tough
to go
night.
there. Holy shit!
Oh Lord! All right, James. That was my shout out. I wanted to shout you out because you've
Jesus
been
Christ.
so entertaining.
Mike Brett's gonna run out of tape on his fucking hard drive to record all this in.
What's this idiot saying? Hold on. Aldo.
Yes, sir.
What he's saying,
That's
'cause
funny
I,
shit.
Go ahead, James.
He's trying to come up with something funny to say, but it's really not going anywhere. So go ahead.
Oh my God, you need to get a good fucking joke, dude. That's your only fucking rebuttal to everything. Oh, you think you're fucking funny? I'm James. You got AIDS. Your mother's
That's what I said. I said that my only rebuttal was I'm James and you have AIDS.
No, you caught AIDS from your boyfriend's asshole. I'm funny. Tony Romo's fucking great.
Oh God, I can't wait to see you face to face and destroy you in person. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be amazing.
Can we just lastly shout out Greg Braggs Jr.?
Greg Braggs,
he
absolutely.
deserves a fucking shout out. Him and Joe and the Shy fans.
Oh, okay.
And all
That's
his
fine.
thing, everything he does. And we're gonna see him tomorrow.
Hey James, thanks a lot for popping in. I'll be in touch with you.
I appreciate the fact that you introduced me to 3 douchebags. So thanks. I will talk to you later.
Hey James, before you go,
trying to put you on
I never need to talk to again, but I'm looking forward to like December 4th or 5th, whatever that game is, so I can fucking lay you guys out and destroy you verbally. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, can you let James take the light and come back to
Step into the light, James.
Hey
Fucking
James,
hung up, man.
Did he hang up?
I think he bounced.
Oh, I was gonna ask him a question.
His mom probably cut him off.
His wireless minutes went out. Metro.
That's my man, James. Come on, James. Why'd you hang up on me? Anyway, he was going to confirm that I don't return his texts either. So, all right, guys.
Wow, so how much of that was an act and how much of that is actually James?
I honestly am interested.
Depends on how much he's been drinking. Because
drinking.
He's fucking beyond drinking.
Oh, that was totally an act. That was totally. That's
not the James I know.
That's not the James I fucked in the ass. All right, I love you, James, and I love you, Shayne, and I love you, Draft Dr. Phil, and I love my new friend Claudio.
All right.
Hey, Paisan, how you doing?
Well, hey, I gotta say something. Listen. I appreciate the salami you brought out, but I take it almost as an insult. I don't know if you're like stereotyping me because I'm Italian. I want salami.
No,
what is that?
Trust me, man. I'm a Puerto Rican who's been eating salami since I came out.
Okay, all right. It is good though.
I didn't even have teeth, and I was chewing on salami when I couldn't get to my mom's tip.
Thank you for it, though. Thank you. It's very good.
You're very welcome.
We're gonna be there tomorrow.
Yes,
Bears,
they're going to be here
Packers.
tomorrow, and I want to tell everybody that if you drink, please do not drive, and always bear down.
Bear down.
Go fuck
Bears.
yourself, James.
Go Bears. See, I could be on beat over here because I can hear the music.
There you go. Go ahead. Do it.
Nito Cheeto MCs, I take them out like my girlfriends, so I can flip them and stick them till they camping. To lend us something I got hype credential, essential, and rockin' Aldo instrumental. I kick my funky flow and then take a stand demand and then spin like an afro. So what's up? Know your butt's up and on the field. Fuck James. Who the fuck is he? That's it. That's all I got. Shout out to the Sandlands.
Bear down.
We're gonna do it.
I love the Sandlands.
Yes, tomorrow. Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.